Bites.
All right. Party people in the place to be, vandals, and whatever else might be lurking out there in the darkness, whether it be evil robots or little tiny gnomes, whatever you are, welcome to a brand new episode of Buzz Bites. This is a banging double feature. We got a huge panel tonight. We are talking about some amazing 80s trash cinema, like some of the best that you could probably look for. And Joey, like, what do we got going on tonight, man?
We picked a couple 80s horror flicks. One, I believe, was from 85, a Wes Craven jam called Deadly Friend. Seeing as how...
Look at this poster for it, too. That's so misselling, man. That's almost erotic looking. Like,
It is.
Very 80s.
We'll get back to that later.
Yeah.
seeing as how the new Scream movie came out, I figure, why not?
talk about the Wes Craven movie he never wanted anybody to talk about. And
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. And the other one we're going to do is an anthology horror inspired by Stephen King short stories, Cat's Eye. So 80s anthologies were pretty happening. So with some good actors, not unlike the Creep Show anthology series, you get some pretty decent actors in this. And one really memorable one that I think everyone relates to when they think of this movie, and that's one I suppose you could say we could have gone without, and the other one's pretty good too with James Woods. So, yeah.
So yeah, but before we get into those movies, we're going to do a little bit of a check-in, see how the rest of our panel's doing. Cookie, how you been since the last time you've been on, and do you have anything you'd like to shout out? Anything cool you've seen or read lately?
I've been good. I've been watching my usual stuff. I did do a bit of a deep dive this week into older movies, kind of like, because I watched Cat's Eye and Deadly Friend. I was like, oh, what else can I watch? And I watched something. Actually, I was going to talk about it with the panel at some point, but I'm like, no, not anymore. It's really bad. And I realized that you watch something when you're either a kid or a preteen, and it's like you think it's good and it's not good. So I had one of those weeks.
What'd you rewatch? Teen Witch?
Oh, God. I like Teen Witch. I will die on the hill that is that movie. So good. No, I rewatched All Over Me, which is like an indie movie from I think it was 97, 98. And when you watch it when you're 14, I'm like, this is high art and it's great. And I watched it. I watched it on Monday or Tuesday. I'm like, this is terrible. This is so bad. I'm so glad I didn't talk about it with everybody else.
You're like, oh, maybe you're thinking of making that your suggestion, and then you never brought it up again. So I was like, oh, okay.
I rewatched it. I'm like, this is awful. This is so bad. I must have been in a weird headspace when I watched it.
The description on Google: tense, bleak, raw.
Tense, bleak, raw.
High art. Yes. So that was my week.
So Tara, how you been? And have you seen anything cool or read anything cool lately?
I've been doing good. I was about to say I haven't done a thing, but that's just the way it feels today. Let's see. I did binge recently, thanks to Elle pushing the first buttons for me. Not literally, but for Unprisoned that came out last week on Hulu. Really, really good. I'm not sure where it is in Canada yet, but very good. It's supposed to be a dramedy, about a half an hour per episode, 8 episodes. And did you see the bingo card with all the different emotions?
No, I haven't seen it.
They did a bingo card of the character and all the extreme emotions that happen across, so you can play bingo according to which episodes you watch her emote during. But that's been the most exciting thing, along with getting caught up, of course, at the end of all The Last of Us. I was about to call it a whole other thing. Sorry. It's been a long day, but yeah, I didn't get to read much this week at all.
So did you like the season finale? Did the season end good for you?
Well, I mean, it's been heart wrenching every week, and it was no less heart wrenching. After I watched it, I heard some discussion of it, and I understand why they made the choices they made, and I'm cool with that.
Okay. So it departed from what you wanted, but you're still good with it. That's cool.
Yeah, it was more like, it's not so much I didn't want it, I just don't know what I want to do with it, if that makes sense.
Like how to feel about it.
Yeah, I don't know what to,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with my feels.
Hmm.
Right on. Elle.
Me?
Yeah, what is up, yo? How are you doing? And you got any shout outs?
Well, I did finish watching you.
Oh,
good.
thank you.
Oh, okay.
You know,
And
we
Penn Badgley.
recently set up webcams and no, I finished.
So you've just been watching me run around my house going BB since last night, so.
Oh, listen, I saw you dancing to the BB theme song.
Oh, hell yeah. You know how it
Kinds of
is.
weird stuff. I saw you break out of your skin. Please, I just want to say
You
this
know how
ahead
it
of
is.
time. I just was not ready for that. Like, out of all the weird stuff in the movie, when that started playing, I wasn't ready. And my husband has seen this movie before. Like, he's like, yeah, this is like one of my childhood movies, whatever. And I had never seen it. And then the music started playing. I said, what the fuck? But yeah, no, I finished. What is this, like season 4 of you? Season 3?
3, I think. No.
The final one? Or are they doing more?
They kind of left it to, I don't know, like they could do more, they couldn't, but I guess they do that with every season.
Mm-hmm.
I was mixed emotions on it the whole season, and I could do without it. I like the first season the best, probably, so.
Mm-hmm.
I just like a stalker creep. Like, I don't need to know your life story. Let's just stick to window
Let's
watching.
just stick with that, yeah.
That's why Pat and I really enjoyed that show Stalker, but it got canceled, like, I think, even before the first season was over.
Who enjoyed it more?
Equally.
Okay.
Just checking.
It's nice to share common
We
interests.
we stalk as a couple.
That's nice.
You dropped your
Stars
pen.
together, you know.
It's much easier, you know. You can,
Right?
like, yeah.
Working as a pair.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, you like, you split up the tasks, and then you get
right.
home and share notes. It's,
Excellent.
yeah.
Twice the coverage.
You guys sharing a meal outside of the window.
Yeah, I sit by the front door, she sits by the back door, and we just,
Talk on your
you know,
walkie-talkies.
yeah, we both got binoculars sitting there.
His and hers.
They're like, what the fuck is this? There's people watching us.
They're like, oh, that's just Pat and Jill. You'll get used
Yeah,
to
don't
it.
worry.
Yeah, we're trying to bring the
They come with the neighborhood.
yeah, we're trying to bring the property values down because you know the prices are starting to get crazy. You got to do something. Can't let people. Yeah, you can't let people think it's a good neighborhood because then we won't be able to afford to live here anymore.
It's
Shoot.
the neighborhood watch. It's just the neighbor watch.
Yeah. How was that chicken parm last night? I thought it looked pretty good.
Oh my god.
That's about all. No comics for me this week. I haven't read
No,
anything yet.
no.
I've been reading books. I don't know the name of the book. A Court of Thorns and Roses, I think the series is called.
Not start that.
I did because somebody on the timeline was like, oh, do you want to read like a super horny fairy book? And I was like, not
No.
really, but
What's it
also,
called
okay.
Kind of, yes.
It's like I wanted to get into a new series, but I was like, I didn't know what I was like leaning towards, and I was like, And then on Book Talk, they talk about that constantly on there, so I was like, let me check this out.
What's it called again? Just hypothetically.
A Court of Thorns and Roses.
What was that about horny fairies? What?
Yeah. She gets like captured by like she's like a huntress or something, and she gets like captured by like a dark fairy. I'm on page 1, so I don't know. I literally just started.
You go mess around by toadstool rings or what? Like,
Might have
like-
to.
They doing like classic Fae folklore, or like are they doing a new style thing with it?
It seems like classic.
Traditional, like with the toadstool rings and stuff like that.
No, I'm lying. I don't know. I'm only on
Okay.
page one. But like the way it was described was like, kind of like dark romance. So
I like
like,
my Fae to be like from True Blood,
I thought those were vampires.
but there are all kinds of
Yeah.
soups.
They have
Okay.
werewolves.
Yeah.
Oh, they were.
Fae,
Oh, they ha-
There's-
oh, Charlotte, her series with the other supernatural characters are good too.
yeah,
Oh,
it is
okay.
good.
I didn't know that.
Or the
My
books
bad.
are.
The books are better than the adaptations, but the adaptation of the other one wasn't bad either. I think it lived one season.
Yeah, I think it was like
Midnight
one season.
Texas or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's
Something like that.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Me
Mhm.
too. I miss that show.
show.
so it's the same writer as the person who wrote True Blood.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's her name?
Oh,
Charlene or Charlene?
Charlene, I think, but I can't think of her
Harris?
last name. Yeah, that's it.
She has like a series about vampires, like then she has the ones about the other supernatural ones. There's one about like what is she, like a psychic? They're all really good. I like
Yeah.
her. I like her books.
Cool beans.
Cool.
So Joe, you got anything?
Yeah. Actually, I have a few things. I'll start with what I've read. So I read the 3rd issue of Black Sun.
Oh, nice.
I really like this series. Issue 3 starts getting into the nitty gritty of it all. They start slowly revealing what the children of the Black Sun are more or less all about. They meet this mysterious higher power kind of fortune teller type creature thing. Anyway, it's weird. It seemed kind of normal and plain as it's going. Now it's starting to get weird. Like with issue 3, that's all the weirdness is starting to, like, more horror elements are starting to kick in more and stuff. So it's I can't wait to read issue 4 now because of that. So that was pretty good. That's in a Blaze book if anyone's curious what publisher. Almighty, issue 2. Yeah, this one was pretty good as well. I really enjoyed the first issue, and this second issue is just as good. This is like a dystopian kind of Mad Max type thing, where the lead is a girl instead of. She actually looks a lot like.
After
What's
reading
the-
it, I take back what I said. It doesn't actually remind me of a Boom book. It reminds me of a Black Mask book now. But like, I
Yeah.
really like it.
Yeah, it's nothing super original, but I find it's really well done. Like, these types of stories have been done many times, but the art in it is fantastic. And yeah, I mean, like the main character actually looks like Furiosa. Is that her name from the last Mad Max movie?
Mhm.
Yeah, Furiosa.
Yeah, it looks a lot like her and just as badass. So, that's always awesome. And this is something I bought myself a couple years ago as a birthday present to myself.
Man, I can't believe you're just barely reading that now as a Canadian, man. It's like one of the greatest exports you guys
Well-
have given us in the past 20 years.
I actually tracked down a hardcover a couple years ago that was reasonably priced because the hardcovers are really expensive. But I found one a couple years ago that was pretty reasonable, so I bought it and I just had it sitting on the shelf and just never really got around to it. So, yeah. So.
What'd you
reading-
think? Oh, you're reading
I'm-
it. Okay.
I'm reading it. I just started it, so
Okay.
I think the show hits. Episode 1 airs Sunday.
Oh,
on,
wow. It's
CBC.
coming up that
Sunday?
soon.
March 19th. Yeah,
Ooh.
this Sunday. I don't know. It's on CBC or their app is called Gem.
Huh.
So I don't know if I don't know where it airs in the States
I think
or
isn't it
overseas.
Amazon?
No, well, they're telling us to wait. They're like details to come.
Mm.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's starting
Don't
up
spoil anything, Joe.
Sunday. Then I'd like to shout out, we're going to have Manu on, the creator for Tales from the Interface. He's going to be on the show Tuesday, and his Kickstarter is running right now. It's funded up to about 50% now, so go on Kickstarter and find that. We had Dylan on a couple Fridays ago. His Kickstarter is still running. There's about 20 days left. His is funded, but he's looking to hit his first stretch goal, so you guys can go back that. That's Metalhead Samurai by Dylan Corbusier, so you guys can go back that. And I was just going through Kindle this week, and I found a few interesting books that people would probably want to read that are free with a Kindle subscription now. You have All-Star Superman by Grant Morrison. That's gaining a lot of attention because of the whole DC announcement with James Gunn. The Last Ronin, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, is free on Kindle. And Nice House on the Lake Volume 1 is free on Kindle at the moment with a subscription. So those are all books that have been, well received. And if people haven't read it, if you have a subscription, you could go get that and read it for free. Yeah.
Sounds good.
One thing Joey forgot to mention, though, is we're doing an extra show this Sunday, and we're going to be talking about a horror book called The Berg, which is really good. Read that, and then we're also going to be talking about a fantasy sci-fi book called Slightly Exaggerated that I really like. That's going to be a really kind of quick show, about like a half-hour type thing we're going to aim to do. But we're going to call it Hot Flashes, I believe. It's going to be like a new semi-format we're going to try out, but yeah,
like
that's something. We couldn't figure anything else out that had Buzz or Pink to do with it, so we're just like Hot Flashes. Yeah, it sounds groovy. Yeah.
What time should we join you on Sunday?
I think it'll be 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock like usual, right, Joe? Or
Yeah, those are when we usually get ours. So
yeah, that works. That tracks.
Are you guys on that late on Sunday? Because I don't want to be competing with y'all, so I'll definitely time it.
Oh no,
no! I meant like
about
the hot flashes.
Literal
hot flashes. Actual hot flashes.
Actually,
Yeah.
life.
I get hot before bedtime.
Yeah.
I don't know. We hadn't really discussed the time. I know if we do earlier because
The earliest we'll probably do it is at about 6, I'd say, right?
yeah, I'd like to do it like maybe even an afternoon thing would be awesome on a Sunday.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
what's the book? The Berg?
The Berg and Slightly Exaggerated, which was a Kickstarter by what were the creators on that?
I know the Curtis Clow is the writer for Slightly Exaggerated, and the artist's last name is Bach. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't remember his first name. I think for some reason I want to say Sebastian, but I know that's not right. That's the dude who sings for Skid Row. And then I know that Fraser, or is it Fraser Campbell, is one of the writers for The Berg. He also did Indexed with Lucy Sullivan, which was a Kickstarter book that ran, I think, 2 years ago. Was really good.
Yeah.
Which we'll probably actually talk a little bit about too, because I made Joey read it.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it. She's got a great style. I love her style.
Yeah, she's like on that same Zoe Thurgood level. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of similar but different. I don't know. They kind of do remind me of each other though a little bit.
Oh, I did back that pre-order for The Sickness through the Collective. That Jenna Cha and
oh, okay, yeah.
His name is right there.
Lonnie
Nadler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, when I
doing
pre-ordered, no, it's a pre-order special they have through one of those comic book shops, and you can get the first however many issues for a set price. But you also, if you did it before a certain amount, then you get all of the variants for free too.
Nice.
For $30. But when I signed up, it said that there was still 9 left, and I'm like, is that true? So I don't know if I made the cut in time. It's stressful.
It is stressful.
Well, yeah, I saw that. That looked interesting. So
yeah, they had a short together in one of the issues of Razor Blades.
Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, because Johnny was saying that Lucy Sullivan too.
Yeah, her and Dan Waters did a short in Razor Blades.
Did a short in there as well, so I'll have to break that back out. I started reading it, and then I didn't get too far into it, and I had to move on to other things for show reasons. All right. So was that your check-in, Johnny, or did you have other stuff you had?
I could talk about watching Wakanda Forever, but I just watched it. It was cool.
That's not bad.
That's enough said.
Yeah. Yeah. It was all right.
Yeah, I finally got around to it. It was, I don't know, it was cute though. I liked it. I thought it was. I really
Better
liked the
than
part where they were on the boat and like they were fighting on the side of the boat. That was
That
shot
was
really
pretty cool.
cool. I
You
mean,
like the
like,
part where they were on the boat?
on the boat.
So many ways that could go wrong.
You know what? I've seen up until that part, like that first fight. Like I've seen up until there, and I swear I always fall asleep. I put it on most nights, and I'm like, I'm gonna get through
Most
this.
nights.
Most nights.
After the hot flashes.
In conjunction.
Okay. that
Joe
explains.
Joe knows because he watches.
Yeah. What time did she put it on, Joe?
Yeah.
He said,
Yeah.
"I've never seen somebody pause somebody so many times." That is, I am guilty of doing that. I pause stuff constantly.
I do too. As soon as my eyelids get heavy,
I just end up falling asleep and I have to rewatch it.
I've done that too. I wake up to it asking me if it wants me to delete it. I'm like, no.
The,
I
the
haven't
worst
seen
part
it
is,
yet.
the worst part is like, let's say it's a movie that's not loud.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
finishes and something else kicks in that's super loud, and it's like you get woken. Oh,
Yes.
that's such
Are
a
you as
horrible
angry
way to
as
wake
me?
up.
I'm angry when that happens, like inexplicably angry, like they did something to me by
Yeah,
making all that noise.
not a fun way to wake up.
No, it's not.
No. Yeah. All right. So Wakanda. Yeah. Can't believe
Namor was
you only
cool.
watched it just now. Yeah, I thought the way they did, like,
I didn't know it was on streaming until just recently. Like, it,
okay. Like the effects, the way they did it when he flies and stuff seemed.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it seemed real. Like it didn't seem
Special effectsy.
fake or like the weight, his weight when he would move and stuff. It was.
the
It was
yeah,
well
the
done.
way he turned and like the actual motion of his flight, it
Yeah.
looked really neat. The way that
Mhm.
like it
Like-
was
like,
quite
it
different
looked like-
than
It looked
the
like
wings.
it's
The wings on his ankles were actually
Technology.
propelling him. Yeah, like they actually did the gag like the way it should look, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. It was really well done. It wasn't cheesy. So yeah, kudos to that, man. To the effects team on that.
I don't think my ankles are strong enough to.
Those were some tiny wings, and he's pretty cut dude, you know.
Flying upside down, you know. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, not my wings body shaming me.
Right. So true. They were tiny. Maybe they're strong like bumblebee wings.
Well, we can get into making fun of movies a whole lot tonight because
I was
the
going
two
to say,
movies
let's
we
not
have.
talk about disbelief.
Yeah. So you guys ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
got-
Which one are we doing first?
Oh, let's do the one based on a true story.
Okay, the most scientifically accurate movie.
Yeah,
that-
really. The one that required no suspension of disbelief whatsoever.
This actually happened to one of my friends.
Put it back to the beginning when he actually says it.
I don't know how to start it all the way over with this player here.
That's when he says it.
BB would know how.
Yeah.
BB
Oh,
Very
my
Gremlins after
adapt.
midnight.
Yeah, So
With,
BB,
with a
that's
sprinkle of Gollum in there.
Yeah, that's
Weird.
true. Precious.
Yeah.
Didn't it sound like he was like just constantly saying slurs and
Yes.
yeah,
He was
it
angry.
did.
under his breath?
He was.
Yes.
I think he was. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But nobody could understand it because
Turned into beeps.
So, like, am I alone thinking like this is kind of Wes Craven's Ed Wood movie? Because like I got like really heavy kind of Ed Wood feelings, like because me, Joe, and Cookie were talking about it before we went on air. Like when she's doing the robotic movements, especially when she's going to kill the dad. Like, how hilarious was it? Like, and like. People had to be on set filming that, taking that shit seriously. You know what I mean? Like,
Even
we're
her,
making
she was,
something
like,
scary here, dog.
She was like smirking during some of the scenes.
Yeah,
too.
she couldn't
And I'm like, I
hold
know
herself.
she's like, I'm gonna
Serious?
kill my agent.
yeah. So what was this? This was in 1985? 86.
86.
So this was like 3 years after Elm Street, I think. Right? Elm Street was in 83, 84, 2 or 3 years after. Anyways,
I
so
think the third one was out close to that time. So
Yeah.
I checked the date on this because I said this dude has like 40-year-old arms. But he's playing a 15-year-old or something, right? And so I'm like, why are his arms? I know people can be hairy, but he has grown man arms. And so I had to Google that, and he was like 20 years old when this
Okay.
came out.
The one
Prodigy.
Paul?
Matthew, yeah, the one who
Paul.
plays Paul.
You mean
Matthew,
Paul?
Paul!
he was actually on Little House on the Prairie. That's what
Yeah,
he was
him and
on
his
before.
That's
brother.
why he looks so familiar.
His brother
Yeah.
is like that really sweet-looking man with all gray hair and those blue eyes. Like, I forget his name, but I was like, when I saw his brother, I said, oh, I know who you are now in relation. He's a Nepo baby. His mom was an actress.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
And Legacy, baby, good.
And then Samantha
And
was
then he
played.
did this movie.
Yeah. And then Samantha
was
was played by Christy Swanson,
Yeah.
who played Buffy.
Buffy, yeah.
Buffy, yeah.
My Buffy.
How
in
long
the
was
movie.
this before Buffy?
This was not. Buffy was in
about
90s?
4 or 5 years, yeah,
Yeah, I
I'd
don't think
say.
it was very, very far apart.
No. Yeah. Another actress that people may have recognized was the actress who plays the old woman, Elvira, is Anne Ramsey, who is
Mama
in
Fratelli,
Goonies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fratelli.
Mama Fratelli.
is in it. And another voice actor who plays the voice of Bibi is Charles Fleischer, who also did the voice of Roger Rabbit.
I heard,
that's
know
why
it.
his
You
name
can
was
hear
familiar.
it. Yeah.
The beep noise that he do.
Yeah, that's what Johnny and I were. I was like, it's like they mix Gremlins with like that. I couldn't figure out. Johnny's like, yeah, like they mix Gremlins with one of the bots from Star Wars, and I was like, yeah.
Yes.
But now that you said Gollum before too, that
There is
fits
some
as
Gollum
well.
in the mix.
Yeah.
And you know, it would have been like 10 times scarier had there just been no voice. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Especially that opening scene, like the guy breaks into the car. It's so hilarious because he breaks into the van, he's gonna steal it, but like he looks in the back seat and he starts getting choked up
That
by
was
this robot
hilarious.
arm, and then all of a sudden you just start hearing.
And like, please, I had never seen this before, so I had to rewind it. And like, I'm watching the right movie, right? Because in my head, I'm like, oh, it's about a computer chip. I didn't realize it was gonna be like a full robot.
Right.
So I'm like, what did I buy?
Yeah.
But BB's cool, man. I'd hang out. Like, you know why anybody hung out with Paul, and that was because of BB, man. BB was cool.
Yeah. And he looked out for Paul, man. He was like,
Yeah,
He did.
he rolled in there to try to kick Mama Fratelli's ass. Like, why did you go in there? He went in there to help you, man, because he was your boy, and like you
Yeah.
never, and you didn't like Paul. Like, he is so unlikable. I think he is the most
Oh,
absolutely
absolutely.
protagonist in
Yeah.
film history, which makes
And
this
the-
movie even more charming in some kind of weird way.
Yeah.
and
So we got
And
a
the most-
reference to-
the most cringy scene in that whole movie is when Paul meets the paperboy kid for the first time.
Oh,
Oh,
And then
my
they're like,
God.
"Oh, did you meet Samantha?" Yeah. What a pair of tits.
oh,
Yeah.
you're telling me.
Joe,
Yeah,
I wrote
you're
down-
telling me. I was like, "Oh my god."
Listen, you guys,
Only-
I wrote down all of her outfits because I thought that was such a funny line. She wore a sweater with a
Yep.
vest. She wore a turtleneck with a vest. She wore a sweater with a vest and a cardigan. The most defined you could see her tits
Oh,
was when
yeah.
she was wearing a medical gown, dead.
laying on the table. Yeah.
And you know that's the only time he saw her tits, and I was like, necrophilia. This is a necro in the making, because you're a pervert. This is the only time he's seen her actual boobs.
Because
And she
are
wears
all
oversized
penises
flannels,
perverts?
oversized denim. When they first meet, he's like, "Hey, you in the 10th grade?" He's like, "Nah, dog, I'm in medical school."
Yeah.
And
Oh, I
then
love
his
that.
friend says, "Well, whatever."
Well, whatever. It just rides off on his bike on butter. I love that part too.
I fully expected them to not be friends. Like, I didn't expect for them to like be friends later on in the movie because of well,
Right?
whatever.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, because
yeah.
he looked butthurt too when he rode off on his bike.
really
Like,
did.
he's just like, well, fuck this dude.
He's like, "I'm actually like a savant." He's like, "Well, whatever."
Whatever.
Yeah,
He's like, I
whatever,
have a paper
Zuckerberg.
route.
I don't want to hang out with you anyway.
We just sign the NDA and get it over with right now.
Oh man. Oh. I don't even know. Well, I don't know what the fuck Wes was doing in this movie. I don't even know if he was actually giving him direction or he just said action and just let him go.
Just
Because
go.
some of
Oh,
the
the
scenes
basketball
are-
scene. Yeah,
oh, the
dude.
basketball, yeah.
Where they act like 3-year-olds that have never seen like a game before in their life, just like
Yeah.
frolicking around, just randomly throwing it, and
When she
yeah.
made the basket, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, this is a sad.
I've never
and
seen such a spastic pickup game of basketball in my life.
I honestly think BB played better than them, and he threw the ball into Mama Fratelli's yard for crying
Right.
out loud. So
Totally backwards.
There was that scene with where Paul and his mom were like having Thanksgiving dinner. And like
Oh, yeah.
she's well aware that this girl is being abused.
Yeah.
And she's
Yeah.
like,
Big old
mind you,
bruise
that she
on.
never closes her eyes, but she's praying. And she's like, and let's hope your father sleeps through this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, you're an adult. You can stop
Like,
this.
Can't say that.
Call the police.
Yeah.
Not you praying he doesn't wake up and beat her ass.
Speaking of
we
the
send her home.
speaking of the father, when she has the dream of her father like wanting to abuse her,
Mm-hmm.
and then when she stabs him, and he's
I laughed
spraying
a little.
blood
I'm
all
not
over.
gonna lie.
Did that seem like awfully phallic to you? The way
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
I think
it
I think
was
they were making.
off-putting.
I think that they got like stuck by the studio that they couldn't broach certain situations.
Oh,
So like
they
he
gave
tried to
over
get as clever with it as he could. I think that they were trying
He
to
was
hint
so
that the
sweaty.
dad was
Yeah.
handsy
He was so sweaty.
without
Yeah.
having to like actually like put that in the script.
It would have been less disturbing to actually have him
Yeah.
Be handsy, yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
than that like bloody money shot scene. You know,
Oh
like
my
what?
gosh.
Isn't
Well,
it, like, I
it's so
wanted
out of
to-
place
yeah.
too with the
Yeah.
rest of the movie because
It
the
seemed like
rest
it
of the
was from
movie
another
is
movie.
so kiddie. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
It feels very after school special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for like
Exactly.
a couple
But
of-
then
a
with the
couple of blood
end-
scenes.
But then with the
Yeah.
end, it was just as jarring as that scene. So I was like, oh,
Sure.
surely they're gonna wake up. And then you just hear BB, BB,
oh, dude.
because that legitimately creeped me out. I do
Yeah,
not
me
like
too.
people popping out of flesh, and so when I saw that, I said, "This is worse than the sweaty creep dad." Like, chill. And they didn't. They just went straight into techno BB, and it was a
Techno
choice. It was a choice.
Yeah. Yeah, I was 9 when I first saw this movie. My sister
Oh,
brought it
man.
home. Yeah, 9 years old was the
So
first time I saw
sorry.
it. Hey, when I was 9, this was like, wow. Like, I hadn't,
Yeah.
used to watching cartoons and, you know,
Sounds like the first time I saw
Disney-
Saturday Night Live
this was
when I
wild
young.
for a
Disney,
kid.
Disney on Sundays, you know?
Right? I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Great thing is, my sister used to often, because I think she was a scaredy cat, so I think she often watched her horror movies in the middle of the afternoon, which made it not as scary.
Yeah,
You know?
I used to do that. I
So,
still do that,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah, I had to watch this with all my lights on.
Yeah, not gonna lie. I have to have my back against a wall.
hmm
Mm.
I had to be like, Dad, don't come in here. I barricaded my door.
Right?
Well, I'm watching some real scary gangster shit in here, man. You don't want to see Deadly Friend.
And BB's got quite the mean streak. Like when that gang comes, he goes
Mhm.
straight for the crotch, man. He doesn't
Right,
even
yeah.
hesitate. It's like what? With
Right,
his
but-
like,
And he-
He was
what
just
is it?
waiting for a
He has
person.
10 tons of what is he playing like?
Crash their
Like four-
PSI or something.
Pressure
Yeah.
to crush. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I put
And-
BB equals ball buster.
Yeah.
And he's
Question mark?
talking all that robot shit while he's squeezing him too, just like
He goes all corn. I think maybe corn. The singer from Corn got
Yes.
inspired by this
It's-
movie.
sound like he was singing "Freak on a Leash" straight up. Boom, boom, boom,
What's that? The little boopy boopoo sounds there? It's just like him.
When Paul smacks her, I said, now did we learn nothing this whole movie, you 1985 man? Did we learn nothing?
Yeah. Oh, there's so many bad scenes in it. But then there's that amazing scene where she goes.
Well, when the
over
mom
to-
wakes up and the two boys are acting all awkward, and they're like, "What were you boys doing?
We were
Nothing, just
fooling
fooling
around."
around."
Yeah.
And they're
Like-
sweaty.
They're both sweating. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. They're both in a full sweat.
That was so sus, man. That had me rolling.
And she even was like real hesitant too. Like, I guess I should wash my face now.
Yeah.
It's like you need to wash more than your face because you don't know what these guys are
No,
doing.
you have no idea. They just worked up a sweat. That's all you know. The last thing you remember was whipped cream from the pie.
Oh God.
No, not from the pie.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
But that scene over at the old lady's, Elvira, the basketball scene where
Yeah, it's mine now.
BB/Samantha goes over there. Woof. I think that is this movie isn't that great, but that scene
Immortalizes it.
Yeah,
It's
it makes this
burned
whole
in my
movie.
memory.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'll
From
forever remember
childhood,
this
yeah.
movie for that scene. When I was 9 and I saw that, I was like,
Mhm.
holy shit. That scene rivals is right up there with the scanner's head exploding scene.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's saying a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right up there for me with that. Like, I've seen both scenes, and obviously I was 9 when I saw this one, so it really I was like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah, I
It
told
just
my
blew my-
husband, I was like,
it
we're
blew my
watching Deadly Friend, and he's like, oh, that's the movie with the basketball and the blow of the head, and I'm like, wow, thanks for spoiling it. I haven't watched it yet. He's like, you can't spoil
The
a movie
only
that came out
iconic
before
scene.
you were born. And I was like, exactly. I haven't had the chance to watch it yet.
Yeah, so you're messing
I'm
me
gonna
up.
watch it today.
Did he watch any of it with you?
Yeah, because he thought it. Yeah, he watched the tail end of it because he had just got home from work. So
Okay.
So he was in here cheesing like, didn't I tell you that was gonna happen? I'm like, yeah, that's called spoiling.
That's called spoiling. Yeah. There's a name for what you did.
Just good as he remembered.
Weren't you supposed to do overtime today?
No, for real, because he did do, and then that's why I'm like, aren't you tired? Like, don't you want to go rest? He's like, no, I want to watch the basketball scene.
Also, he made it in time for the basketball
Yeah.
scene. Nice.
That's funny.
He was like,
Yeah.
it's not the best movie, but it is like one of those movies I remember, like core memory.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. The same for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
I mean,
and
it's not a good movie, but it's a movie I definitely recommend anybody watch, just because it's.
Absolutely.
Well, it
just-
definitely made
Yeah.
me look at donating my body to science different.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
creeps like Paul have access,
Yeah, no
absolutely
reanimation,
not.
Thank you.
Just bury all my parts.
Yeah, he just like goes to the hospital, steals the dead body, and just expects his friend to be down with it. He's just like,
Right.
yeah, we're even now. It's like, what, dude? Like, we are far beyond fucking even, dog.
Yeah.
Like,
And take out him being like a genius, and it's literally about like a girl whose dad kills her and a boy who tries to bring her back to life and keeps her
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
And it's so gross. It's like,
A little
ew, no.
It's very
Your
creepy.
son has some
Yeah,
mental
that's-
issues, friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, he's full Zuckerberg, man. There's no doubt about that.
And the fact that he's like the new kid in town too. I don't know what's the other boy's name, Tom or something.
Tom,
Yeah.
I know
Mhm.
Tom's mom is like, I don't want you getting involved with those smart kids.
Well, it makes you
Gotta
wonder,
watch
like,
out for
how
them.
bad it is for Tom if, like, that guy he needs to be friends with Paul. You know
And
what I mean?
the
Like,
extremes,
damn.
you have the creep bicycle guy who looks like he's 68 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
straight up.
And then you have the smart guy, so it's like, who do I hang out with?
But that's
What are my choices?
that's so typical of an '80s movie, though. Like,
Well, it's
The
such a
kids that
nice
are getting-
neighborhood, but they present it like a ghetto. Like they live next
Yeah.
door to an alcoholic that beats his daughter, and there's like evil bikers, but like it looks like a really nice neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like,
Right?
The fact that he ran all the way from like that back alley to his house without the police in their cars catching up with him.
yeah,
I said,
straight
how
up.
did he make it all the way back home? He said, this is my block. And how do you know all the shortcuts, new kid? Get out of here.
He's friends with the paper boy. That's like the first thing that Tom showed him.
he's a genius.
He said, show me all the shortcuts.
That's on the editing floor. That
Like
must
I
be on the
kidnap
editing floor.
girls and put robot brains in them. All right, I need to know how to get around this
As
bitch.
soon as
Like,
I saw his creepy attic,
I have a
I
hobby.
said, something bad's going to happen. He's going to keep some girls up here.
Did anyone else enjoy the makeup palette while she was reanimated?
oh, the
Oh,
blue
God.
eyes, yeah,
the,
dude.
The
Yeah.
death pallor.
Yeah.
Man, they really did not
What
make
is
much of an
that?
effort there. Yeah.
No, just slap some all across her.
Yeah.
You're just gonna shove blue all over your eyes.
Right.
And then there was one scene I think they
Superhero mask.
forgot I think they forgot to put it because there's one scene where she doesn't
Yeah,
have
it's
any. I
missing.
don't think. Yeah, it's missing, and I was like,
Oh, that was her coming to life a little bit. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
am me.
Like, she
When
was
it's
When
like
she
there,
starts
little-
saying,
Paul.
yeah, she says Paul instead of baby. When she's chasing the bike and just yelling baby. It's so funny, man.
then she actually has to do like the cupping scene,
Yes.
right? Where
Right,
she-
yes.
to lift him up, like
They said she threw him like 30 feet. You guys, never mind. She's supposed to be dead.
Right?
yeah. Wow, but that, like I was saying before, that's so typical of an '80s movie where the bullied kids look like kind of young, more or less in the range of the age they should be.
When they're wearing
And
long
all-
sleeves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and all the bullies are
Mhm.
supposed to be roughly the same age as them, but they
In their
all look like
30s.
you said. They all look like 40, 50.
That when he said,
Absolutely.
Like,
the-
that's-
what's his name? I
uh,
can't remember the biker's name,
mullets.
but as soon as he pulled up, I said, "Now there's no way you're gonna tell me they're all in high school together."
Yeah, yeah. They all look like. I think one guy had a really bad receding hairline.
Hmm.
Like at least
yeah,
get
they did have that.
I-
going.
at least get people that have decent hairlines to try to
Yeah.
pull it off a little bit.
Tom
You know.
looked his age. Christy looked high school. But as soon as Paul pulled his sleeves up, I said,
Yep.
"Now stop it. That's grown man arm hair." Like he's a lawyer. I hate to stereotype, but like he has seen some stuff. You know what I mean? I
He
was
had
like,
a
"No."
baby face though, yeah. Until
He
like
Yeah.
really did have
Yeah.
a baby.
But then,
Until you
but then
saw the
I
Wolfman
noticed he had
arms.
shadow. Yeah,
Well,
but
I
then
think
I
it was the
noticed.
braces.
Yeah, I noticed later on in the movie, like his he had a little shadow, and I said, "Uh oh, puberty hit you mid movie." But then I googled how old he was, and I was like, "No, you're just a grown man."
No, it was just a long day of shooting.
They forgot to.
They forgot to give you an extra shave break.
Yeah. Yeah.
10
It
out of
was
10 recommendation though,
A
because I had
cheese
voted for
bun.
Magic, but this movie is. I'm glad I spent the money on it because it was ridiculous.
Oh, me too.
I fully
I didn't have any
expected to
doll
just be
nightmares.
like, yeah, like ugh, this movie, but no, it was Chef's Kiss, so stupid. I loved it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it went the extra stupid mile. Like it did never explain like how her heart started again. He just put the robot chip in
Well,
her
that's
brain,
the
brought her home, and somehow
electromagnetic
like
pulses.
And shoved it in there too.
Her toe is moving.
It
Oh, the-
interfaces.
the foot.
The foot.
And then-
Oh yeah, I saw her foot move.
The scene where Paul and it's Tom, his friend,
yeah.
where he's like, "I'm going to the cops" and this and
Yeah.
that. Then
Oh.
then as he's running outside,
She flies out the
he
window.
dives out the window from the attic.
Take him down.
It's like, oh my god.
Which is opposite of what I thought was gonna happen. I thought she was gonna see his bloody nose and like be like, "No, that's what my dad did to me." Like, chill, Paul.
Yeah,
But no,
realize
she
that Paul was
like,
the
"I'm
bad guy of
jumping
the
on
movie.
him."
In effect.
Because
Yeah.
Paul technically is the bad guy of the movie, right?
He is,
Like,
yeah, he's the
Yeah.
worst.
But we're supposed to sympathize with him somehow.
Yeah.
Mm.
This
In
was
my canon, the mom left Paul at the house and like went and married Tom's dad, and like Tom is her new son because he's a good boy.
I
man.
think I like that plot twist.
Yeah.
It's a
you
good
get
one.
to that, you get to that fake out scene at the end though, like, and he's still running around. I was like, what? How is this guy still able to go to the hospital? Like, they should
why
have
is he
wanted
in the morgue?
posters and guards,
Right?
just like notified, like, don't let this dude near the morgue. Like,
Right,
gee,
because I feel like they would have destroyed her or something, but no, they were just like, okay, lights off. Let's call it a night. No,
Yeah, we're done.
call the FBI.
don't get
Call
overtime for
everybody.
this.
This is not normal.
yeah,
Yeah.
this guy's like practically did what the CIA's been trying to do like since the '60s. So like, yeah, there's no way that like she would not be like in Roswell somewhere or something. Like,
And he's just free.
yeah, he like
Yeah.
Right.
she
This
ended
is
up dying in the end, so he didn't do anything wrong. Like, even though like
Yeah,
three
zero
people died.
sum.
Did
Yeah.
she die or did her subconscious merge with BB?
Ooh.
It merged.
If so,
Oh,
then
man.
He wanted to kiss BB so bad. He wanted to kiss her so, and that's what made me uncomfortable. I was like, you want BB so bad, and now you have BB and Sam in the same body. He was living his best life. He said the
That's
best
right.
of worlds, both worlds, Hannah Montana.
I can't stop hiccuping. That's like an amen every time I hiccup. Sorry.
But the robot smile, man, that's all I gotta say, man. That killed me. Like, like it just even ended with just like me laughing so hard. Like, it's just classic film. Like, I know
And this
that
is
like
actually-
what.
This is actually based on a novel.
Like
Just
it's
called
true
Friend.
It's
story.
the novel.
A novel called Friend, yeah, by Diana Henstill. Henstill?
I'm
Henstill?
really
So it's
curious.
Diana's fantasy. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's the one.
I
Yeah.
really wish some hairy-armed boy would bring me back to life. So I can go on a killing spree.
I wish the new boy in town.
Uh, but that end scene with the skin peeling and stuff, I remember when I was 9, I was like, oh, that creeped me out so bad. And now when I watched it, I was like, okay,
This is funny.
that scene doesn't hold up as much for me now.
No.
Okay, but
Yeah.
you've seen it before. For me, I had never
Yeah.
seen it. So when
I
I wasn't expecting it, so
I
when
don't
it started
remember it.
happening, I said, hold on. How did the robot get inside the body? Did the
Yeah.
chip grow inside it? And then when it started peeling everything, I said, ugh, yuck. I said, I don't want this. But
And
then
then
it was like they knew it was almost too much for its time, and they were like, BB. And then they started playing the music, and they were like, yeah, let's get you guys back.
Baby.
Let's get this audience fist pumping. I said, yeah. I even Googled it after. I said, am I tripping, or is this a BB song? And it was like, yeah, no, it's a legitimate.
Yeah,
What's his name? Bernstein? Or
yeah, Charles
whatever?
Yeah, Charles Bernstein.
Like,
He did all the music for Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
right.
And then
Yeah.
he said BB.
Yeah.
So, the most iconic music to BB.
It is. It's actually decent, man. That's the first thing Johnny's like,
Catchy.
dude.
Listen.
He's like, that song is epic. The BB song. I was like, yeah, it's pretty good actually.
And
Because,
not to,
me too.
Yeah, not to bury
It's
the
better than
lead,
it should
but
be.
is that the saying? Not to bury the
Yeah,
lead.
that's it.
Not to bury the lead, but Cat's Eye also had an end credit song
Yeah.
that was pretty.
I
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
singing that for days.
Yes. So 80s horror movies, they knew what they were doing. They said, let's
That's right.
absolutely make you be uncomfortable and then bring you back with a little up tempo.
Yeah.
He
Well,
muted the shit out of this movie.
The BB song was a little less up tempo than the Cat's Eye one,
Yeah.
but yeah. So hey Johnny,
Yeah.
you want to play that song a little bit one more time before we close out the deadly friend?
So aggressively wants you to know he's BB.
Yeah. It's you cannot forget the robot's name in this movie. That's for sure.
No.
Well,
I didn't-
whatever.
I was gonna.
Whatever.
Well, whatever.
I was gonna count how many times they said BB in it, but I
Oh
didn't have
no,
time.
I think
I
Sam
didn't
is
have
actually
time
the
to
most
rewatch
said
it.
word in the movie.
Yeah.
Like the whole
Yeah.
last half of the movie, he's just
Yes.
constantly running.
Okay.
It's like half the anime movies where like the chick just runs around
Yes.
yelling the dude's name. Like the end of this, he's just Sam, Sam, Sam.
Calling her like a cat, tie-in.
Yeah.
Cat's Eye.
There you
Yeah. Calling her like a pet.
Nice
Which I guess
segue.
she was, when you boil it down.
In
too.
the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad but true.
Definitely a problematic movie if you put it into today's scope. Definitely.
Oh,
Slap
yeah.
the shit out of her.
No, well, that scene, the scene where he had her in the shed and then she sees her dad and he's like, "Come away from the window," and he kind of like shoves her
He
down.
puts her hand over her mouth. I'm like, she can't talk yet.
What is that happening? This is so weird.
But even killing her dad, I was
She's,
like, did
sitting
he
straight
actually
up.
abuse you though? Like, but no, I know he did,
He had
but
that bruise,
but it was so
yeah.
gruesome. I was like, oh, this is nasty. But then I was like, I guess you deserve it though. And I guess like the neighbor deserved it, even though like you are fucking with her. Like you guys are legitimately going over to her house to
But
mess
she got
with her.
issues. Yeah.
You guys are rude.
Yeah, she doesn't have a fence around her property for like.
fun.
Oh, that was a question
yeah.
I had. Why would the lock be on the outside of the fence? Like, wouldn't that mean somebody locked her in?
Oh, good
That is a good
question.
point.
I didn't even think about that. I just figured she could whip it around there, but
Yeah, but why would? But like, it seems like she would be like the kind of person like
to protect
self-serving. Like, so why would it face the outside? Or she calls her son up every week. Make sure you lock me in.
Yeah.
That could be.
And I know BB did that shit on purpose. I know he threw that ball back there on purpose because he wanted to mess with her.
I was
Yeah, 'cause
definitely
he did it.
thinking she had deliveries way back then before deliveries were
Because he's a
cool.
genius. BB is
Could
like he knows all of every outcome of everything. He did that
True.
on purpose.
He definitely had a vindictive side for sure.
A little.
A BB side. Is he related to the Star Wars guy? Because they have similar coloring.
Maybe BB-8 is based off of him a little bit, like a little bit of an homage.
Maybe he came from Andor.
Or Bumblebee, maybe.
Ah, don't talk about my Bumble.
Oh, they're all yellow, huh?
BB Bumble, BB
They could all
Bumble,
be
BB Bumble.
related.
I guess it's
Yeah.
possible, but I love my
Ballbuster.
Bumble.
I thought BB was cool though. I'd have hung out with him. Like I'd have probably stolen from Paul. Like if
Yeah,
I was the
for
biker
sure.
guy, I wouldn't try to take him apart with a tin can. I'd actually just like steal the robot and like make
Look,
it hang
I'd
out
throw
with me.
away the remote and I'd be like, "Look, BB, I'm cool. You don't even need this. I'm not gonna try to control you.
Let
Yeah,
me
you
show
just hang out and talk your weird robot shit. That's
I'm
fun.
gonna let you be your own person."
How far away was this from that movie? I can't even remember the name, but the one where the robot said 5 is alive repeatedly.
Oh, Short Circuit.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
I think this was a couple years later. I think Short Circuit was.
That's
early-
also my husband's favorite movie.
Wait, what was the other one with the
Circuit.
little?
That's like a
He
theme.
loves that movie.
I loved it when I was a kid.
That's like his favorite childhood.
I've never seen
yeah.
Short Circuit. I watched the second one.
I probably
Ooh.
need to
Loved that when
watch
I
the
was a
first
kid.
one because I was. Well, I don't. You don't even want to know how old I am because I was somewhere there wasn't TVs. That's all I can say.
Mm.
I didn't mean
There
to
were-
shut down. The conversation.
Wait, what did you just say? There was no TV.
There were no TVs where I was during that time.
but they existed.
They existed. Yeah.
Okay.
Why-
Let's clarify.
Yeah, I didn't come from the land before time. I promise.
You said wheels?
So-
What's that?
My spaceship landed.
So you were. What are those where they do when they're teenagers? They can leave their
Oh, the
Amish.
Rumspringa?
yeah. Were you? Wait,
I'm
were you
not far
raised
from
Amish?
Amish country.
Yeah.
No, I'm close to Amish country. Though,
You
so
said,
that's-
"Mama, I'm gonna go
No.
watch Short Circuit." I don't care what you say.
I can't wait for Rumspringa. I've been waiting to watch Short Circuit since the '80s.
Deadly friend. I hardly
Yeah,
know her.
86
Brenda,
86.
I hardly know her.
came out the same year, 86.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
Same year.
They were doing.
What was the other one called? Batteries not included.
Yeah,
That's
the
what
little,
I
little,
love
little
that
floating
movie.
aliens
My
in the apartment
husband,
complex.
you know what? You
Yeah.
guys are.
Can we just hit
I'm
all
gonna
his
have
greatest
to.
hits?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take him to therapy because that's
Special
one of
guest.
his other favorite movies.
That's all good stuff. I have all those on
It is
DVD.
good.
I watch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He has a
That was in
number of robots.
'87. Batteries not included was in '87. Yeah. I mean, as a kid, a little boy, you love robots, right? So that's an easy
Right.
sell.
I still
Yeah.
do. I mean, like.
Yeah,
Maybe-
no problem. If loving robots is wrong, we don't want to be right.
I thought.
Right.
I guess my childhood equivalent to those would be like Indian in the Cupboard,
Oh yeah,
which
that
I
makes
thought was super cool. Just the idea of like little people living in, which I guess we'll get to in Cat's Eye. Little,
Yeah.
sense. Yeah,
little
again,
peop-
another segue.
not little people, but actual little persons living
And
inside
not
of things.
demonic ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Tara, we'll get to that. I have
Okay.
a hot take on that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have a hot take on the troll.
can't wait.
All right. Well, let's.
Misunderstood.
All right.
All right,
So
let's
look-
get to it.
Not
All
the
right.
troll
So Cat's
hiding.
Eye. Cat's Eye. This is direct. Oh shit! I don't have it up on my screen here.
It's on the screen.
No, but the director and everything.
Yeah, it was on the picture.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, was it?
Okay.
I can't see that
Yeah,
far.
it's going really hard. Joe's like
Let's see
looking
it
on his,
close up.
Joe's on his phone.
Who that?
Yeah, let's here we go. I like the opening scene. That was probably one of the best parts
That
of
was
the
one of my
movie.
favorites with all the Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Cujo chasing the cat,
Yeah.
and then you have
Directed by
the car.
Louis Teague.
Yeah.
Louis Teague. Okay.
The cast is quite impressive of this movie.
It really is. It was great. to
You
see
have
someone.
Drew Barrymore,
Sweet baby angel.
Yes.
yeah,
she
James
was
Woods.
a good angel.
James Woods, who went on to do a
It's
lot
to
of
be
stuff.
canceled. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in the
he
'80s.
did a lot of great stuff. Before.
Yeah, he's a guy that like I really like have had to learn to separate the artist from the art because like I
Mhm.
grew up
'Cause he was
watching
really
him and
good.
like I've really
Yeah.
enjoyed like Videodrome and a lot of his work, Vampires, you know, like
Mhm.
he's in
Yeah.
a lot of movies I like. So, and this is another one, and he's spectacular in this too. Like, but
Yeah, he is.
now there's an added bonus. I like watching him be tortured in this film, whereas I was almost sympathetic to him in the past. Now it's almost like, yeah, get that fucker. Yeah.
This is a
What
good
was-
movie for that too.
What was he canceled for?
I'm googling it right now because I had no idea.
There's
He's basically just a dick. Like,
Yeah.
you could tell by watching
Yeah.
his movies and
In
ever seeing
general,
him
sort of
speak that he is just like, kind of a cocky,
Oh, I thought he just
athlete
got
kind of guy.
senile.
No, he
No.
speaks his mind, and like he's old timey, and he's
Yeah.
of a certain political leaning,
Okay.
and
I'm trying to think,
he
was
said,
on Sean
I
Young's
see
hit
this
list?
article titled "What the F Happened to James Woods."
Oh, nice.
and
Yeah.
he's spoken about things that if you had certain opinions on, they're not
Okay,
smiled
so-
upon, and
Oh,
like
okay, he's very
Why-
Fox News.
Why would Woods get canceled and not Clint Eastwood then?
That's what I have never understood that.
because-
He's bulletproof.
He was
It
kind of
depends
That-
on the
this is-
community. Depends
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
community because I know
Because-
people who
yeah.
don't mess with his work,
Yeah,
Clint
same.
Eastwood, and I know people who still mess with it regardless. So I think it's just
I'll wa-
depends.
I'll
It
watch.
depends on,
anything.
like, it
I'll
depends on
fucking watch
how
a Kevin
how far
Spacey
you can-
movie, so.
it depends on how far you can separate the artist from the art, in your own
It's not
opinion.
easy.
That's how I
Kevin
would say it.
Spacey, I can't, did everybody is in agreement that Kevin Spacey is not canceled?
I'll
miss
I'll
him.
watch
still-
most things with him in it, even
Yeah.
though like he does gross me out. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Like, I
I'm
think he's
I'm
a
on the
pervert
fence.
human.
I think he's
Yeah.
weird, but I'm like, but the story that was told,
It's ambiguous.
didn't he get off on the charge? That's why I'm like, I think it's
No
weird.
pun intended.
I think,
Oh,
or pun intended.
Uh-huh.
But the charge wasn't old
Uh-huh.
enough. But I do feel like there's like a weird space where it's like, even when they're proven innocent, it's like, are they innocent? Because you've already
Yeah.
drugged them so hard that it's hard to be like, I'm a fan.
Well, that's
sentence
the
alone.
way. That's what it is with anything.
yeah.
As soon as you get accused, forget it. Even though you're proven innocent,
It's hard to
People-
unhear it.
because people, their initial judgment is the one they're going to stick with. No matter how much evidence you present to them, they're like, no. And in their mind, it's made up, and that's it. And that's
Yeah.
why I hate
Um,
this culture. Cancel culture is
I don't like it either.
very emotionally based, not factually based, right?
Mhm.
People drive their judgments of people based on emotional reaction and not on facts and proof. Which I'm not saying a lot of these people deserve like whatever fate they get, but
Mhm.
I don't know. It's very problematic for me.
Well,
the way-
if
Yeah,
all the
true.
outcome is that you find out that the person that you already knew was an asshole is actually an asshole, I don't understand why I'm supposed to hate them now, because like it was already obvious that person
Army
was an
Hammer.
asshole.
I know he's an
Right.
asshole. I know he's a
He's-
cheater,
Exactly.
but he didn't like.
But the cannibalism.
He didn't. He didn't actually eat anybody though, and
Yeah.
all
You
of
don't
the-
know that, Elle.
Well, no, I watched the specials, and then I went back and watched the other stuff, and I'm like, so you invited this man to do
Oh, man, Armie Hammer's in the chat.
non-consensual stuff with Army, hey friend, hook me
Consensual,
up with that
non-consensual.
timeshare because I think he's selling timeshares now.
Oh, that's
in Germany.
That's enough.
Stop
But-
it.
He is
But
he's
so-
selling timeshares.
He's not.
He
Timeshares
is
are evil.
Cookie, I
Yeah, he
swear.
is.
At like
He
in,
is. I saw it on
like
YouTube.
Turks and
He is.
Caicos or something, like some island. He's selling
That's not a
timeshares.
rip.
No, it's
he's
she's telling the
timeshares.
truth. Yeah, I saw it on
Oh.
YouTube, but it's true.
Yeah, because you know he has
That's
family.
sad.
Watch
I mean,
watch
well,
the House of Hammer or whatever it's called on Discovery Plus, and
Oh, that's why I don't have
it shows
Discovery
you like
Plus.
all the nepo baby stuff that led to how he even has his money.
Don't make
But
me
it
need
also
Discovery
talks to
Plus.
like the
He's a nepo
quote.
baby?
Yes.
Yeah.
His family has money,
No.
money,
Arm
like
and
from
Hammer
all
money, right?
different sources.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
this is fascinating. What is
yeah.
that? What is that called?
House of Hammer, I think it's called.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait,
his
go in on
dad
that
was
later,
awful.
Cookie?
His grandfather was awful. They're all awful people.
And they
but
all
I
probably
think,
eat people.
Well, I think what it boils down to is like when you partake
so
in like
common.
these consent, non-consent things, and then it
Mhm.
gets murky because you're a celebrity, and I know I could be like, hey,
Yeah.
pay up, friend.
Yeah.
And so it's murky. But
and things are often taken out of context too.
mhm.
True.
Right.
So yeah. Okay, I'll keep going with the actors. Another actor was Alan King. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah. I have
That's
He's
to
Ted
one
watch
who
Stryker,
runs-
right? From Airplane. He's like the guy in the second story that has to walk around the
I was
building.
like, oh, it's the airplane guy.
It's
Yeah,
Ted
that's
Stryker. He's
funny.
got a drinking problem.
Yeah. Then you have Kenneth McMillan, who was in the Dune movies with the boils on his face
Right.
everywhere.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, he's
Harkonnen,
in those-
familiar.
The new
Yeah,
one or the old
Harkonnen.
Dune?
the old
The
one,
old one.
the David
The
Lynch
hard
Dune.
one.
He plays almost the same character in this as he does in the Dune. Yeah.
It's nice.
Robert.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
They loved whispering shit like that in the 80s, man.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Robert Hayes was a fairly known actor in the 80s.
That's
Then
the
you
one
get
from Airplane.
then you get James Rebhorn, who does all kinds of small roles and all kinds of stuff. So,
One
and I
of
think
those
the
I've
rest,
seen him somewhere. Sorry.
yeah, the rest is pretty. I don't know. I don't recognize any of the other names.
James Rebhorn is low key a dead ringer for James. I was about to say Earl Jones.
Wow.
Wow.
Damn.
James
Hot
Woods.
take.
Hot take. That was actually my hot take.
Well, you did
Yeah.
not disappoint, young lady.
Yeah. All right. So
Oh no, he's dead.
Oh,
he passed away now.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
it's like
about?
2014.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, he
You
did a
said,
lot of small roles.
Chalk it
Yeah.
to the game.
Well, that's cast a gloom over the evening, hasn't it?
Oh no, his last movie was Before I Sleep. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I'm so sorry for that.
yeah.
It's okay.
So the first story, like we said, the intro is all the Easter eggs to some of the past movies that were done by Stephen
Yeah,
King, which was
it's
pretty cool.
three. It's an anthology of three movies, which has kind of has a wraparound story with involves a cat trying to find a
Yeah.
little girl.
From Night
Yeah.
Shift, right? Those stories.
The first two. The third was an original.
Ah.
Cat Howler reminds me of my cat Gump. Looks just like him, man. One of the
Well, I
crazy
keep
little
it
tabby
third
M
eye
head.
open for him.
So the
Keep your third eye open. Did anybody see
Yeah.
two cats, or is it just me?
Hmm?
They were.
What?
It felt like they were switching on the close-ups between two cats. One that had
Tara,
all
I
gray.
don't think anybody
Well, I
was
feel like
watching that.
No, I was. Hello.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I missed my cat, and one of them.
Yeah, there's
looked
one
like
that's a little.
he didn't.
There's one that's a little chubbier than the other one. There was the one that.
Yeah.
Whoa, let's not body shame the cat.
Yeah.
Maybe he just
Well, there was
got
one
a
that
little
was.
slimmer
I'm sticking with
for the
color.
close-ups.
Yeah, there's one that was slimmer than the other one.
The
Which one
outside
was-
cat had
Mhm.
had like a white paw,
Right.
Mhm.
Mm.
where
the other one
the
didn't.
other cat didn't. Yeah,
Right. Thank you,
Mhm.
Lorraine.
I watched.
Because I think the heavier one was the one they used for the scenes where they held. And the
I
slimmer
just
cat-
where I wanted that to go.
The slimmer cat was the one used for all the action sequences.
Hold on, let
Well,
me,
of
let me
course.
Google general
Can I just
after
say,
cat
no, no,
side.
no, no.
Please,
I
please.
hated every second that Drew Barrymore was holding that cat because he was like
Yeah, put me
Oh.
down.
That didn't make you feel realistic. I was like, oh, look at her gonna
It-
kill
it
the
looked
cat.
like-
Elmira.
Yeah, it looked like your typical when a little girl would grab a hold of a cat,
Mhm.
where the
Right.
cat would play
Cat would
along,
be like,
Mhm.
miserable, but wouldn't hurt the little girl, but would just be like,
right.
That's why
I
it
hate my
switched
life.
actors.
like arms straight out.
The
Yeah.
first one was like, I can't do this anymore.
That's why
But
they had to
that
switch him
first-
out. Yeah.
That first story was with James Woods, was the smoking one,
Quitters.
Quitters.
where he wants to
Yeah.
quit the smoking, right? That's his first one.
Quitters
Yeah.
Incorporated. I mean,
How
yeah.
Yeah.
unhinged is it that it's like, if
I
I
remember
catch
that
you
story.
smoking, I'm gonna rape your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how
second
unhinged
offense.
is it that he's like, I'm gonna sneak the smoking?
Yeah. He's like in his car,
That's
just like,
only the second offense. Yeah. How bad did he want that cigarette in the traffic?
Yeah. But the
he said
scene,
it's just a
That
little,
broke
just
me.
a little,
They're not looking.
just a little bit. She's
But the
not gonna
scene-
remember.
yeah, the scene with the cat though.
in
When
the
it was
electric
dancing.
booth.
Yeah,
Was anybody else
I
worried about the
hated it.
safety? Because they didn't have safety protocols yet, did they?
that's what I'm wondering. I don't know if they actually. I don't
Oh,
think
I
they
thought
did
the
because the
cat was
woman
having
was
a
in
good
there.
time.
I think
thought
they
it was
put-
just-
too.
thought it was just
Sparklers
air
or
blowing on
something,
it,
yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That cat still
Yeah,
didn't
it's
want
really
that
easy to
cat
make
there.
cats jump. I don't think that you'd
That's
actually
true.
have.
Just put a bunch of pickles everywhere.
I would be there. I would
What
be
is it
shocked.
with the pickles?
Huh?
Because
What?
it-
How does that work? Why do cats jump from pickles?
I jump to them.
They jump anything they're not
Yeah,
familiar with.
Can't relate.
Is
Put
that what it
anything
is? Yeah,
behind
I can't
them.
relate at all. I'd be
Yeah.
like,
Put anything behind them they're not familiar with, and when they turn around, they'll jump.
oh, okay, I'll have
Like
to
an
test that
object
next
they've never
time.
seen before. Yeah, so
I think
I
one
guess-
of the most endearing things
Where's
about
Freya?
this was she's like, I'm not in this one, okay, guys? I got
Yeah.
better.
Yeah,
She's like, I don't
she's
want to be
out.
duped. I don't need a body dupe for this one.
She's- Yeah, what?
She doesn't want to be body shamed by the
No.
people. Like, her taint was looking a little smaller last episode.
Oh my god.
Well, she does show it. Come on.
I
She
know. She
wants us
gives
to
it
look
away.
at it.
No, I thought it was really endearing. Like Drew Barrymore, she's such like a sweetheart.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been an actress since her, like as a child actress, that has been like as endearing.
That's because there's no other child actress that was drinking that we know of.
Well, you know what? Bless the drink for her because, and
Right?
I love the fact that she's just like our girl. That's just her.
I'm definitely not
her
judging.
name
I
in
love
this.
her.
She does not have a name. She's just a girl who
Our
the cat was
girl.
trying to find.
Literally our girl.
It was
yeah.
it's so sweet. It's so endearing. I love that for her.
Come
that for
help me.
Drew.
It's still after me.
Or it's about a weird cat who's obsessed with little girls.
They keep putting weird wings on me. Please come help me.
And the second
Weird
one,
wig.
when the guy like runs across the waterbed, I had a waterbed in high school. Please no, he would have fell.
So
There's no
hard.
way. That was like his villain
could
moment.
stay
He
upright?
was like, "I'm gonna huh."
Who could stay upright on a waterbed with a full bladder? Like
I just
that?
thought it was so funny how like his villain moment. He's like, "Ha ha ha," and then he trips over a cat and then runs across a waterbed. And I'm like, "You're not that scary."
No,
But to go back to Quitters Inc., I love Stephen King.
that was my favorite.
I'm like a big fan. This is like anything in this. I'm gonna say I like it because I'm just that person. But I will say that Quitters Inc., watching it now versus when I was like a little kid, I was like, this is messed up.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. It's super
This is
messed up.
But
also
unlike
effective, I guess.
but unlike Deadly Friend, like Cat's Eye was filmed to be funny. Like it is supposed to be a
Right,
comedy,
goodness.
and so like this one, like the laughs
I
are
laughed more
there.
during Deadly Friend.
Unironically.
Yeah. So
I laughed more at the other ones.
so they are both really funny movies, but for different reasons.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And this came from a book that had like almost all of its short stories adapted.
Yep.
In
It
some
made me
form.
remember reading the stories more than anything else.
But the cool thing about Quitters Inc. is the kind of crime drama element too. There's kind of a noir thing
Yeah.
twist to it. So I like that too. Like it kind of set it apart from even like the stuff that popped up later in like Creepshow and some of the other Stephen King anthology movies. Like
Yeah, that's
like
true.
it kind of stood apart from a lot of those other shorts.
Like more on par with like Apt Pupil.
Yes.
Or like Shawshank or something less, supernatural. But even it kind of like an adult Goosebumps.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
a perfect way to describe it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love the way the Quitters Inc. ends, where the two guys are like, "Yeah, we quit smoking," and the two guys are like,
Yeah.
like traumatized,
Frank.
you
I
know.
don't have any pinkies
Trauma
anymore.
bonding.
Cheers, you know. It's like,
The unbandaged pinky.
yeah, yeah.
That was quite a shot.
And I also
And her
like there
hair.
was like a shot. Go ahead.
Her hair when they put her in the cage,
Yeah.
Oh,
electric
yeah, that
cage.
was priceless
Her hair's
too.
and the song
All
that they
backbone.
use is
Mhm.
awesome. The
What song is
it's
it? No, I
96
forgot.
Tears.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that fits so well when they're doing it. The 96 Tears. I was like, oh, that was so well done. That
Perfect
song with that
choice.
scene. Yeah, it was awesome.
There was a scene where in the second short where the cat's looking at the guy like dangling off the roof, and like I could just feel like the animosity. Like he's like, I have not had one good day since moving to this city.
I hate all of you.
I would rather be chased by Cujo,
Yeah.
like ran down by Christine, than deal with this nonsense. He's like, I have not known silence since coming to the city. They're like daring him, like, cross the street, kitty cat, cross the street.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on,
I
He's
was
just like,
getting
I'm just
so
trying
mad.
to live.
kitty, I'm just trying to live. Leave me alone.
And then like Mr. Norris, he was like at one point, Jesus, the way he said it. He said Jays. And then you know what? Also
Jays.
in the third story, The General, which is like the original short that they made to like wrap up the story of the cat of General. Number one, I tried to send you a picture, but I guess like on Google on YouTube you can't screenshot stuff when you buy
that
it.
sucks.
The little tiny knife. How cute was that little tiny baby
Adorable.
knife? Oh my god. I said
Very
I know
cute.
your life has been plagued by trauma, but how cute is the little hand and the little
I was
knife?
immediately like, I want that.
So look, they sell it, but it's like, but it was from like the
No,
80s.
not you checking.
I checked. It's on eBay. You can still find it. They have the knife, but it's not as sharp as
Oh,
like
well,
it's not
that
as
one's
pointed. I guess because of when they manufactured it, it
I
probably
want it to
wasn't
be
legal.
unsafe to use on my
Yeah,
fingernails.
it's a
or
pocket
something.
knife, and I was like, no, I just want a little shiv, but
Yeah, just a tiny shit.
I
What a
did look it
swirly
up because
dagger.
I was like, I would buy this. I would buy this
It was
tiny
a
knife.
nice knife, yeah.
Yeah, and I also thought, you know what? I was going somewhere with this, but it's gone. But I did really like the wrap up story. I thought the wife was awful, genuinely awful. And
Yeah.
like if I was like her partner, I would really have to like look at her twice because it's like it's not that I don't love you, but the fact that you took this cat, tricked it into our house, and then took it to like a charcoal smoke factory.
Big old crematorium going.
Like you're
full time.
unwell. You are unwell. Like what happens when our daughter acts up? Like what are you gonna take her to the
Return.
orphanage? Like,
But
You're now a ward of the state, baby.
right?
Have fun in the system.
She's like, we're gonna try again.
But I thought
the cat's fighting her.
the father husband, I thought he did a great role. Like I thought he was
Yeah.
spot on. Makes fun of the mom, like because she's like, beware the cat, you know, kind of like
Gonna steal your
but-
breath.
yeah, all this and like like oh your gypsy grandmother, you know, like
I've heard
That
Making
was
fun of
gonna
her.
be my
Stuff like that.
recommendation. I was gonna be like, hey, let's watch Thinner. It's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, I love that too. That's
I
one of my
love
favorite
Thinner.
adaptations. Yeah.
yeah, it made me think of also like Crumpus, where the old lady tells a
Yes,
story,
very
like
Yes,
the
yeah.
warning story, like beware, you know, and like
Yeah.
whatever. Everyone's just like your old folklore, you know,
And
your
the
horror.
cat did
Yeah.
technically take her breath at the end because she's gonna
Yeah,
she
eat
did.
this rank fish off the floor and then jump on her mouth like, you smell this? You smell this, Drew? This is my house now.
You want to know what I have? You're my little puppy now.
That's probably truthful to cats, man. That's how mine act, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised.
Okay, Al, what was your hot take for the troll?
Oh yeah. I wanna know
Oh,
that
just
too.
like he was so freaking cute. He was such a
No.
little guy. He was
That's-
such. He was
That's
such a
your
little-
hot take?
Yes, he was such a little cutie with his little knife and stuff. I said, look at his little fist got cut off by the fan. I said, look at his little mutilated corpse. It was so cute. I love miniature stuff. So like when they showed his little arm, I said, oh no, look at his little arm. And I'm just like, Drew, you could have put a piece of wood over that hole. Like, y'all didn't have to let him go like that.
Even
Like
that
that's
book.
he didn't want that life. Like that's just what he knows because he's like a troll.
He didn't want that life.
He's just a troll with a knife.
So he needed an intervention, is what you're saying.
All I'm
Okay.
saying is that if they had given him the attention and love that
Troll
they
dude.
gave General, maybe it wouldn't be trying to steal her
Oh,
breath too.
Stop.
And he just enjoys life. He's a jolly little troll who's laughing
Yeah.
all the time.
With
Yeah,
bells
he
on.
just, he just needed to steal little girl breath. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Did
the
anybody
world's
catch-
fault.
Did anybody catch if there was a bell missing after Mama found the bell? That was bothering me. It looked like he had all his bells in the next scene.
The cat?
No, the
No,
troll.
the troll.
Yeah.
Because the mom is the troll mom. She gave birth to that little
Yeah,
thing.
dude.
She
Like
pushed
they
that
probably
thing
roll
out.
together. Yeah. So she can kill cats. It's like an excuse so she can take cats to the crematorium.
She had a baby with Mr. Norris, and it was the little troll guy. And they put him in the wall, hit him in the wall to live, and then he couldn't
I
grow
thought
because the walls are so confining, you know?
Yeah, he had to stay small, like when you bind feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like one of those bonsai cats in the bottle.
That's right. He is a bonsai cat.
Oh my god.
We need help.
The little, I really like the little troll design too, the face and everything. I thought it
Yeah.
was
Yeah, no, he was
really
rad,
rad.
but I wouldn't say it was cute. Like that's.
But
I
No,
thought-
no.
but
he
the
had, like,
little
a
knife,
gesture
the
thing.
little when they picked it up with his little two fingers, and he said, "Look at this." It's a
How
little
great!
knife.
How great of a Funko would that little thing make right now?
Just a little knife. I just need the little knife.
I need him.
They need to make a 2-pack of him and BB as Funko Pops, man.
Just
There you go.
the hand, just the blown off hand holding the little knife.
The campaign starts here. Bonus in the BB box is the dismembered hand with the knife.
Yeah, when I saw that on eBay, I said, "How mad would my husband be if I?" Because it's like $8.
That's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I gotta get
Yeah,
it.
that's like a quarter of a variant cover. So yeah.
And he collects, like, this is gonna sound unhinged. He collects knives and stuff. So I'm
So,
just like,
oh my God. I got it for you, babe.
yeah, I got it. I got it
Yeah,
for
if you
you.
get caught, just
You've seen
Most
Cat's
masculine
Eye,
piece
right?
in your collection. Yeah.
It'll be the cutest. It'll be the
Only
cutest
you,
knife
Lee.
in your collection.
We'll put it in the
Mhm.
center. It'll be tiny.
Mhm. I try to think about everybody, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, but there's
Mhm.
one scene though. He comes out of the wall in a room, but in the beginning he's running from the woods or something.
Well,
Yes.
he can get
Oh,
outside of the
from
house
the
too. He
wall,
doesn't
yeah.
just live in the walls. Like,
No,
you think
but
he's just.
So he's
Like,
from
he
the
mag-
barbarian universe.
but it's because he magically opens a hole in the wall.
Right, he peels it back. That was
Yeah, and then closes it. But I don't know. I just found that weird. I thought he just came from a parallel dimension or something. But now rewatching it, now I remember the scene where it's like the first person view, and he's running because you can hear him like with
Mhm.
his little funny
Skittering.
voice. Yeah,
BB.
and, yeah,
he really does
The
sound a
BB
lot like
voice.
BB.
yeah. So you see him running towards the house and stuff, and I was like, okay, so he didn't just come from some other parallel universe.
Wouldn't it be funny if
or-
it was the same voice actor?
I would not
Oh.
be totally shocked.
They're
I gotta
like, you
say.
need to give more troll, less robot.
Yeah, could be him. He did a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I
he
wouldn't
He
did.
did a lot of voice work. That guy.
Very similar.
He took that secret to his grave. I just know that when I pass, if you guys can make sure that my tombstone says, well, whatever.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Whatever.
Oh,
I'm gonna go deliver my newspapers, you asshole.
Yeah.
Because like
Okay.
he's like, well, cool. I'll see you at your school and stuff. He's like, well, not really. I'm going to Polytech because I'm a genius.
Right.
So like, I'd be like, well, whatever, too. You know what I mean? Like,
He's like, actually, I'm a genius. I'm a pre-med.
Like,
And then,
who said
when
that?
his mom is like, yo, this sleeping bag cost me $80. Like, when you're a famous, like, scientific, what's it called? Scientist?
neurologist or
When you're a
something.
famous doctor and you could pay it, then we could say something. And then it's like, why would she close the door on him while he's walking in? Because did you hear that? She closed the door and then he ran back to the
Did,
shed.
didn't she?
And I'm like, if your son is following you into the house, why would you slam the door in his face?
Right after you told him to get his ass in there.
Right. And then he ran back to the shed, and I was like, she doesn't like you, friend. Like, you need to find you need to find your real dad, and you need to see about guardianship because
Yeah.
this isn't gonna work out. She's
Right,
already
with
in
no-
on Tom.
So it's Frank Welker who does the voice for the troll.
oh, that's
Why does that sound
Megatron
familiar?
then.
Oh, that's
Oh, that's who it is.
Yeah, he
Okay.
did all kinds of cartoon voices in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, Frank Welker, he's huge.
And it's Daniel Rogers who does the all the physical scenes with the troll.
He
It
also
wasn't
did
the
Cobra
actual
Commander.
What's that?
Well, it's the guy that did Cobra Commander's voice, so he kind of sounded like a troll, anyways. Like,
I couldn't keep a straight face. Sorry.
Look,
Al.
no, that's why I was like, let's be real, I was like semi paying attention, and I was like, I couldn't tell at first if it was like a life size thing attacking her or like
a
a tiny
tiny
thing.
Mhm.
And then once I realized it was tiny, I said, "Free him. He did nothing wrong."
Stop it.
How
He's
much
just a
trouble
little
can he be?
baby.
He's just a baby.
Sweet baby angel. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
I mean, my cats would have ate him. I mean, like,
Yeah, most cats.
Well,
I think.
The cat was trying.
yeah.
Yeah, couldn't get past
When the
that dagger.
parents were outside of the room and they're like, "What's happening in there?"
Oh,
And
It's
she's
just that
just like,
little door stop.
"General,
Yeah.
eat him! General, help me!" And I'm just like, "You guys break the door down. Your baby child is
Make
in
it go
there
faster,
having a
General.
mental break. You need to figure out what's happening."
Make it go faster.
Yeah, that was a stupid on the record player thing.
Yeah,
Drew Barrymore
you
was
missed your
even like
clothes and play.
Oh.
nominated
Play it
for that, like
faster.
a fantasy award or something,
What kind of award is that?
like a movie award.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Very
the
Did it?
smaller one.
Is this before or
hope
after
she got it.
Firestarter?
It was after.
After.
I
Right
thought
after,
so,
the
'cause I
following
can
year.
only hear that line whenever she's on TV at that age.
Even now,
Just
when I think
back
of her,
off.
even
Back
as
off,
an
just
adult, I'm like, no,
back
she's
off.
a sweet baby angel.
She is.
Even as an adult, I'm like, I think of her as just, she
sweet
could
baby
like
angel.
run me down with her car, and I'll be like, Drew, it's okay. We're
Yeah.
here for you, friend.
I taught him how to talk now. He can talk now. Yeah. Really good
Okay.
lines too from her when she was a kid.
Yeah.
It got nominated for the International Fantasy Film Award. It just got nominated, but it did not win.
Uh-huh.
And it got nominated for Young Artists Award for Drew Barrymore's performance.
Nice.
Because I think
And
Stephen King
it
used
did
to
not
have like
win.
dollar deals
Mm.
where he would like let student filmmakers and stuff like do adaptations of his shorts for
Interesting.
$1.
Oh.
I didn't
For
know
the
that.
time period, it's one of his better adaptations. I'd put it up with like
It got
Silver
good
Bullet was
reviews.
being
Yeah.
like one of his
Yeah.
like actually like really enjoyable, really solid acted, all around films. I'd even put it above Creepshow personally as like
Yeah.
one of,
Yeah, I think I would.
and I like Creepshow a lot, but like it is pretty silly in parts, like really silly. Where this one, it gets funny, but it's not ridiculous. It's not eye rolly like Creepshow
Yeah.
got.
Yeah.
Well, Creepshow, there's 2, right? So
Yeah, but only the first one's good, and then the TV show, in my opinion. The second one,
I
it
love the TV
tried,
show.
but yeah, the TV show is so good.
I actually like The Mist a lot.
Yeah.
The movie?
Oh yeah,
love
that
the
was
Mist.
good too.
I
Was
really
that?
like.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I can't rewatch it, but I love it. It's so
See, I was
love
talking
the-
about like his earlier adaptations,
Yeah.
like from the early '80s and stuff.
Mhm.
Because he had some really good ones in the '90s.
I
Yeah.
think most of them were like Dead Zone was
Dead
good.
Zone,
The
yeah.
80s one was
Yeah, that's
pretty
another good one. Yeah.
Christine, I liked. Creepshow was like, even Children of the Corn, and Children of the Corn was in the same anthology as these stories.
Okay.
So
Oh,
it's
that's
like,
right, it was, yeah.
it's really crazy to think like, okay.
He was on a roll.
You know what's crazy? Because when you first put Cat's Eye, I was like, oh, we're gonna do like real depressing shit. Like, let's do Misery.
Oh, I love Misery.
Misery's good. Yeah. That's from the same series of short stories.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's just from a series of these are things I would like to do in my life before I die. Yeah.
You dirty bird.
I would like to quit smoking. Mission accomplished. I
Right.
never started. And
never
Misery. I always threatened my husband with that too. Like, like
The
pack it
ankle
up,
thing? Oh my
You're gonna
god.
gobble 'em.
I'll misery him.
It should be a verb. I agree.
Yeah, I threatened to misery him, and it's not even like the violent part. It's more like you don't have a choice but to hear me talk.
Mm.
He's
Welcome
never
to your new
listened to
world.
House of Nerd. I'm gonna make him watch all the episodes.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Are you going to use
Put 'em
those
on a loop.
Clockwork Orange?
Yeah.
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 I know where you can get some of those.
Uh-oh. She's like, I've done that before.
No, it's not going to get any better when I say I've had it done to me. It was
Did
a
you say
medical
semen in the
context.
eye? Oh.
No, I did
Oh,
not.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
No, girl, no.
Okay. Well,
Do
good
not
to
clip
know.
this. That's all I'm saying right now.
Look, Cookie sipping her Baja.
Are those hot flashes starting to kick in now?
The hot flashes.
I don't know. I
It
think
is
if we do
back in
another
10.
Stephen King episode, we might need to do his TV stuff, like Langoliers, like that
Oh,
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd be down.
I would
With,
too.
with
I only
Balky
wish-
ripping the paper, like, oh, that's so fucking funny, man.
The original Stand versus the new one, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
have opinions.
They did a new stand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
on, what was it, Peacock? Or
Amazon?
I don't know where
Amazon.
it's streaming
Paramount?
now.
Amazon, yeah.
but I saw it on
Yeah.
regular TV, or they did a new one since then.
with Skarsgård, with Alexander Skarsgård.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet.
No, I seen
And,
the old. I
uh,
seen the one when I was a kid, like
With Gary
M-O-O-N.
Sinise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
Gary
dude-
Sinise and Rob Lowe. And,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One of my
Uh,
favorites.
Who's the guy? Is it the guy who played Cyclops in the original X-Men movies? Was he
James
in
Marsden, yeah.
James
Yeah.
Marsden.
Oh, yeah.
The Kenny of Westworld's up in there. Wow.
Yep, he's in there. Not Cyclops. Two
Whoopi?
eyeballs in
That's
it.
such a perfect name for him.
it? Whoopi Goldberg's in it.
Yep.
Yep, she sure is.
I have
Uh,
to check it out. I like the
Crazy
story.
Boy actually plays himself in it. The one who does Flash.
Crazy
He actually
boy.
plays himself.
Crazy Boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ezra Miller?
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller, yeah, plays himself in it.
does.
Plays
He does.
themself.
He plays themselves on
Themselves.
it.
Yeah.
They play
Oh, okay.
themselves, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I don't keep up with all the pronoun thing.
They're the only one that I'm like, oh, I know, I make it a point because
Yeah,
they made it a point
Yeah.
in the court documents.
yeah.
What court documents?
Oh,
Uh,
from the
all the
thing.
stuff that he's in trouble for.
All the
Yeah.
stuff they're
Hitting people in the head with. God damn it! I just
Oh,
did
you're
it.
talking about Ezra?
Allegedly.
I didn't mean to. Honestly,
Allegedly.
I'm sorry, Ezra. Don't hit me with a chair, dog.
Ezra,
Don't choke slam me. I didn't
they're
mean
like,
to.
you know what? Tonight you're getting kidnapped. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Tonight I'm drinking all your beer. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Sneaking in, taking all your liquor.
Allegedly.
Yeah. It had a decent cast, the remake of it. So
I even liked Under the Shield, the TV version of it, or Under the Dome.
I
Under
was
the
going to
Shield.
say, wait,
That's
Under
what
the
I was
Shield.
thinking of with
Why
the Breaking Bad guy, right?
Yeah.
I like
There we go.
Castle Rock was good. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I
I
liked
don't-
Castle Rock.
I saw a few episodes of that, but not all of it. I would love an excuse to watch it.
They're doing what is it? An It prequel?
Another
Oh, yeah?
HBO.
Oh,
Yeah.
another a prequel instead, the first prequel.
Mm-hmm.
How involved is King with that one? Did he write it
I
or?
hope so, because that's pre-book.
He's probably consultant like he was on everything else he does
Okay.
Yeah.
recently.
That was
Yeah.
No blame. The
Yeah, no
Outsider
shade.
was fantastic.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
With Jason
Well,
Bateman.
That probably was one
Oh, I
of
love
his more
Jason
recent
Bateman.
books that made me super uncomfortable. And then when they adapted it, I was equally uncomfortable.
Mhm.
You
I
had
told you
the-
Gerald's Game was uncomfortable. Speaking of
I
uncomfortable
don't like
Stephen King's
Gerald's
books.
Yeah.
Games. Hot take. One of
Yeah.
my lesser favorites.
I like that. I didn't like
I
the
liked
end,
it
but I
too.
liked it.
I like
And
the
that's
one.
an older book. That's not a newer book. That's an older book. But it recently readapted. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the
that's what I
James
heard. That was
Franco JFK show. I thought that was really cool.
Oh my
Yes,
god, that book!
uh,
I read that book
19
twice in a row.
Yeah, that book was
11,
really
23,
good.
16.
Oh yeah, 11:20. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was
There's
really good.
Mr. Mercedes. I haven't finished watching that. I
Haven't
watched
finished
the
that
first.
either.
I
I
watched
need a reason, dudes. Give me a reason.
the first two seasons. A reason to
Well,
watch
the
it?
characters are reoccurring. He has a lot of books with them in it.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
if that's
Yeah,
not
he
his,
does like
the
to do
Mr.
that.
Mercedes books are excellent too. The ones in
The
those
series was
series.
pretty good. The acting is really good. What's his name? He's good in it. The Scottish actor there.
Mhm. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was in the one.
A fellow Scott.
Not you and McGregor. A fellow
the
Scott.
Banshee one there. I was telling you about Johnny.
Yeah.
I forget his
Banshees
name
of
though.
Inisherin?
Barry Gleason.
Yeah, he cuts his fingers
That's
off
him.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. Brendan
Yeah.
Gleeson.
Yeah,
Brendan
he's,
Gleeson,
he's
okay.
really good in Mr.
He's
Mercedes.
great.
Irish,
And-
man. Quit.
He's
he
Irish,
Irish?
for real.
Yeah,
that's
he's
what I
straight
was
up
thinking.
Irish.
Okay, Irish
movie
guy.
is
I
good,
had a
too.
lot of people tell me they didn't get that movie, and I was like, "What? I
What?
don't understand what you don't get about it."
Are you dead inside?
And
It's pretty-
also,
It's pretty straightforward.
yeah,
yeah.
I really
He was
liked
good
it.
in The Guard. Like I love that.
Maybe
movie.
they just meant they weren't comfortable with the resolution.
No, I don't think they understood like what was the purpose of this movie.
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
Well, maybe
sorry.
because they're like Colin Farrell's character who just doesn't get it.
Yeah, I think
You know?
maybe
Oh,
it's,
maybe
So
so.
some people are so simple-minded that they can't grasp the
okay.
simplest of concepts.
That might be
You
it.
know? Like
was so
leave me
good
the
in that.
fuck alone. It's as simple as that.
And it's
Right.
like to me, it's like a folktale, kind of like a parable, like.
It is.
Yeah.
And so I was like, if you don't understand that, like, I can't explain to you storytelling.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I understand where you guys are going with this. Okay. Well, I haven't seen it yet, so like I'm trying to.
Oh, yeah. Please watch it and then let us know.
It's
Because
not
it's
bad.
very, it's very much like
It's
a not a like a parable, like
Yeah.
right, not a
It
not a
does feel
fairy
like a
tale.
parable.
Yeah, it's a lesson.
It's a lesson. Yeah, exactly. Which he just doesn't learn.
No.
Well, I mean, like the director's kind of known for doing those kind of art house arty films, anyways, or
Yeah.
kind of.
Who was the director?
He
What
also
else?
made In Bruges, and I think, and
Oh,
he's
wow.
done other films with that acting crew. Like,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's the same guy.
Can't think of the other supporting actor.
And he also did the three signs outside, the three
Very
billboards
Oh, yes.
outside of
That's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Texas
That was good.
movie.
I didn't mind that. I thought that was pretty good.
You said that Texas what?
I forget what it's exactly called, but it's the
Three
three billboards outside of some town in Texas.
Yeah.
Some
Wait,
town
what?
in
You
Texas,
guys
I
both,
forget.
both of you talked at the same time. What was it called?
It's called the three billboards
called the-
outside of some
Oh,
kind of.
Three Billboards. Yeah, I know
I
what
can't
you're.
remember the city.
Because
but,
I
yeah.
watched. I did see that movie. Yeah.
I forget what the town's called. There's a lot of towns
Yeah.
in Texas, man.
Yeah.
It's
Would-
big.
Are you
Big
guys
state.
buying billboards? Would
Are we
you?
what?
Would you? Would you?
Would I buy a
Yeah.
billboard?
Yeah.
No.
To
Or
carry
like
your
the-
loved
that's-
one.
Would I put up a picture of my
You would just
cat?
let them die. You would just let your kitties be dead.
Nobody pays attention to billboards anymore.
But
When you
three,
put it like
three
that-
billboards, not one.
Wait.
Three.
3 of them.
I have to tell you why I'm laughing. One of my cousins was on a billboard for something fun. He was part of a club where they
Mhm.
and they got
S
like
Club 7.
no.
No.
It was a PSA for the Kick Butts No Smoking Club in his high
Mhm.
school.
Okay.
And the family drove over to see it. And his little sister was like, I don't see what the big deal is. It's not like he's alone.
Wow.
That's something I would say to my brother.
That's a mad jelly right there, man.
It was
Mad
funny.
jelly.
It was
That
very
is
funny.
harsh.
Mm.
She stands by
Horrible.
that to this day, too. What's so special about him? It's not
She was
he
like, she
alone.
was 30 at the time.
right. Not yet. A few more years.
Are you guys gonna watch Swarm?
What's that?
Should we?
It's on Prime. It's like kind of like a hard take on the Bayhive.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I saw like a
Donald Glover.
out of context trailer, and I wasn't sure what I
Nija-
was looking at.
I forget her last name.
Oh, I might
Neighbors
have
or
to watch it
something.
then.
Yeah, it's like a horror take. They even like there's even like a joke about Halsey's race. And
Shut
I'm like,
up.
oh, I'm watching it.
Oh,
as
yeah,
soon as
okay,
we
I'm
wrap. Yeah.
Is it on now? I mean,
Yeah,
is
it's
it
on
streaming?
Prime. The first, I don't know how many episodes.
Did
it
I
is.
mention I have a curfew tonight, y'all?
No.
No.
I'm joking. Don't,
Oh.
Sorry.
I
We're
would
gonna watch
believe
the
it, though.
Swarm, right? Okay.
Because the troll in your walls told you if you don't go
That's
to bed
right.
by
Yeah.
10 o'clock,
It's your ass. I have a dagger.
this
with your name
tiny
on it.
knife is gonna.
That's right.
And what was a tiny knife gonna do? Like, you know how many
I don't
times I would have
know.
had to jab Drew Barrymore in the neck for her to like actually
You know, that,
have
that
blood
troll was
loss?
aiming
I
for
mean, it could
eyeballs.
jack up the cat, but I could, I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it could hit her eyeball.
free the troll hashtag
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
No, not in my house.
free
What was
him.
the first
Hashtag
name
not in my
again?
house. I forget the troll's name. Did he have a name?
No, the bird.
Oh,
Holly.
Polly.
Was
Polly had a
Holly
big.
Holly.
How
Polly had a-
stereotypical.
Polly had a big pecker, right?
Yeah. the way she looked at him like, and then she just turned. It was so dramatic.
That's a
'cause
dad
she-
joke. It was a great dad joke, and
It
she
was,
really
was
was.
like,
and it was so. I was like waiting for like a response, and it was the perfect non-response. I said,
Yeah.
"Thank you for this."
yeah, that was that. He was great. The guy who played the dad,
Mhm.
like
Was
he
it James
nailed it.
McNaughton? Or am I remembering wrong? Was it
Hmm?
him? James McNaughton played the dad?
Possibly. I
was
could
big
double
A lot
check
of
it.
James in this movie, huh? Did you have to be named James to act in the
I think,
80s?
yeah, there was a contract. You had
Yeah.
to
That
sign.
Yeah.
was the rules.
Yeah.
You know, and so going back to Deadly Friend, when I found out that he was an old boy from Little House on the Prairie, fun fact
I'm so
about
glad
me.
you said that.
fun
Yeah,
fun
James.
fact.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's him, James Naughton.
Yeah. Fun
Yeah.
fact about me is that's one of my favorite comfort shows. Until the point
used to be
where
my
she
jam.
goes to the school for like the deaf. Is that
Yeah,
what it
the teaching.
up until that point, and then I'm just like, you lost me. Go back to the prairie.
You lost me. Can I just tell you, once when I was young and I had hurt myself, and I, long story short, broke my leg and was in traction for like half the school year. Really coordinated, I know. But I had that whole set of books, and
Mhm.
I was young enough to be like, when I grow up, I'm going to live in that time and play.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Prosecuted. You gonna be the one baling the hay and stuff.
Exactly. Apparently, I don't know
Um,
what I was thinking. I just wanted to wear boots with dresses. That sounded.
You know
like
what?
fun.
I never read the books, but I was adopted when I was 14.
Mhm.
And everything that I was allowed to watch with my dad before he passed, I wasn't allowed to anymore. But I was
Aw.
allowed to watch Little House on the Prairie. So that became my whole identity.
Anchor. Yeah, you can see why.
Mm.
And I said, you know what? Laura Ingle, I guess we're the same.
Right? I don't know what it was about her that made me identify because, like, the parallels are endless.
I'll even watch the
Not-
reruns and like tell my daughter, like, look what happens if you don't act right. You're gonna be,
It
you're
was
gonna be
always a
thrown
big
back.
morality tale, wasn't it?
And is it like what is the word, like, depending on where you grew up, but when I was in elementary school in California, we would go to like prairie houses, like
Oh,
as a
we had
field
stuff like
trip.
that here too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's because of where I live and all the DuPont properties that exist.
Well,
for
that's
those
what I'm
kind of
saying. Like,
purposes.
yeah, because if it's
No,
historical,
we don't have prairie houses here.
Yeah.
And we're
We
close
would
to
go to-
Philadelphia too. So
and
we go to
the missions too. We would go to even on like church and state.
Oh,
But
yeah, I
yeah,
never got to go to a
we
mission.
grew up going to the missions as field trips and stuff.
Cool.
I actually drove by the little house on the prairie house when I was moving to Colorado. Like
Mhm.
when we drove to Kansas, yeah, we went right by the little house on the prairie house.
How long did you live there?
In Colorado?
No, in the little house on the prairie.
Oh, I just drove
just
by.
kidding.
I looked at it
Homesteaders.
from the road.
You're like, couldn't it be me?
Yeah, like why was I dreaming about living there? What the hell?
Kansas is a pretty little state, man. But it looks boring as hell. I wouldn't want to live there unless I had a robot like BB and we'd go out killing
Yeah.
people
BB.
at Friday night. You know what I mean?
Killing
Like,
people, crushing
Do you-
people's balls.
Do you think BB is like inherently violent or only acting on Paul's?
I think it because it
Basic
hung out with Paul. Like,
A little of both,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think there's a whole lot of backstory that we missed out on before, like they came to this
Yeah.
new
Paul
town.
had
I think he
issues.
was hurting BB.
Because he was kind of short with it. He'd yell at it and stuff, and it's like,
He was.
you have the
He would
remote,
turn
dog.
him off on the drop of a dime. BB off.
Yeah.
Yeah, or when he met, like, dude, he just like reached in and pulled his
Pulls-
chip out, and I was like, yeah.
just-
They even programmed him to shut down.
I was like, dude, you just like killed him for a second. That's not cool.
No.
Like,
Like,
you
you're
wonder
not
why I was gonna
behaving.
throw basketballs at people's heads and shit. Jesus, Paul, your hairy
That
arms.
was
Think for a
just
second.
Slam dunk. That's all that was.
You're
trained
old
him
enough
well.
to think with your hairy
Mhm.
arms. Yeah.
He did have basketball player arms.
Well, he sure couldn't play basketball though. We saw that for.
Yes.
That was the cringiest scene in the whole.
Was so
Even
hard
all
to
the
watch.
BBs, all the awkward hand gestures that now would probably be associated with people with mental.
Yeah.
Right. No
defects.
stimming. Yeah.
Despite all of that, the cringiest scene in all of this was that basketball.
It was.
Them playing
I can't
basketball.
argue
Yeah.
It
with
was
that.
horrible. It was bad.
Even
It
to
was-
me, and I sucked at playing. That's why I had to
I know
manage
the
the
director was like, if you guys break this goddamn robot.
thing. It's your ass. You will not get paid for the rest of it.
Christy
like-
Swanson was like, I am not the Swanson heir.
We only have one, and it's got to make it to the scene where Mama Fratelli shoots it with a shotgun. So
That's
come
right.
on.
Blows the shit
Like-
out of it.
It's like drama club kids that have never played sports. It's like, here, do a basketball scene. They're like,
Right, no, because
What?
seriously, why did he have a basketball hoop on his
I don't know.
garage?
It came with the house, is all I'm thinking. You know what I
Must have been.
mean?
He must have
And the
grown into it.
basketball too?
They probably left it, and it wasn't
the
fun.
garage?
The paper
Yeah.
boy was like, hey, look what I got, a ball.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
bring my ball by. Yeah, that's probably it. Tom brought that ball by.
hmm Or Craig, or whatever his name was, the old guy on the motorcycle. What's his name?
Craig.
Clyde.
The old guy. Yeah.
He's like, I got a
What's the old
basketball
guy?
for you,
Oh,
kid.
The old
Hey,
guy that skated
Maybe
over
he got
somebody.
held back a lot. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like there's a ton of
Oh.
savants and not so savants. Like
yeah,
the
well,
guy that didn't
we
make it
had-
for Lost Boys.
we had one guy that got held back quite a few times in our high school.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's got one.
Well,
He had
I
a-
have
86,
one
baby.
too, and I'll say his name, Freddie Lott.
Oh, I'm not gonna name names. but
Shots
we
Because you know what
fired.
had hair
you
plugs
know what
in
he
high school.
told me one time? He wrote me a note on Valentine's Day, and it said, it said like Alicia Keys, I don't know your name. and then after we graduated high
Oh.
school, he made a post on Facebook that was like, if you were like 5 pounds lighter, I would have dated you in high school. And I
Oh,
wasn't
that's so
even I
sweet.
wasn't even overweight in high school. And I
Yeah.
was just like, oh my
How
god. But he was
heartwarming.
also held back twice, and I know that for a fact. Because he
Hashtag
graduated the
dodge the
same year
bullet.
as his little brother Philip. So Lot
You should-
brothers, if you're watching this, fuck off.
you should go on Facebook and tell him if in high school I had a robot, you would be decapitated by a basketball.
That's right. That's exactly what that needs.
BB, just play the BB music. Just know that he's coming for you.
I'm still going with hashtag John dodged a bullet on that one. Yeah.
Oh no, for sure did, but I was just so hurt. I said,
Oh, who wouldn't
not
be?
your 40-year-old self telling me.
I know you didn't. Yeah.
When we went to senior prom, I was like, he's like the
Shots
senior
fired.
at the prom.
He's a
Super duper senior.
Hey, he was buying the other kids booze and shit because he
Right?
could.
Yeah.
No,
Like
like
that.
no, one time because I had a math class with him, like a statistics class, and he was telling us like, yeah, I'm gonna get a hotel room for me and my girl, and I'm gonna do this, and this to her. And I remember thinking like, oh, he's an adult. He's like a grown.
Yeah.
He's a grown man.
Someone call Hanson, man. Get him out here. Tell him to take a seat.
Really?
Have a seat.
That's right.
You know what you were about to do?
Yeah.
Like, Let's
love
get
when
him
he
the full
does
on hand straight up, man.
Chris Hansen, if you're watching, much love, much respect.
Yeah,
Even though
thumbs
that
up.
weird stuff you did lately, it's okay.
Yeah. Still
Not
love you.
illegal, but weird.
Kind of predatory.
Weird flex. Yeah.
I did get a shirt with him on it that says "Take a seat," though, or "Have a seat."
Mm,
That would be hard to pass up. I didn't see
Couldn't
that.
pass
else
it
that
up
happened.
because he hasn't been charged of anything. Because he left his
Allegedly.
wife for like an 18-year-old girl, and I'm like,
No,
but
I
she's
did not know
18.
that.
She's 18.
It's not
She's legal.
Yeah.
She's legal.
That's
That's not
bad.
creepy at all.
And last I heard was when he went after Onision. Like,
Who?
What?
he's like a YouTuber that's really creepy.
Oh, I didn't hear
Aren't all
about
of
this.
them?
Oh, yeah.
The lore goes deep with him. Like, if you're on YouTube, you know him. Like, he's a bad guy.
Well,
Mhm.
And Hanson went after him, so that's all you need to really know. Like,
Say less. That's
I
what I'm
gave you
doing
full
tonight.
orientation reflex. Sorry. Yeah, I guess I know what I'm doing after the show.
this is the TMZ edition part of the show.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
we got the tea room here, man. Might as well
Yeah.
get that tea spilling.
Much
Chris
appreciated,
Hansen?
Johnny.
I know. Yeah, I know he like got into it with like because he had left his wife for like an 18-year-old, but
I did not know about that. What
Yeah.
18-year-old was thinking, I want me some of that?
Well, listen, I don't want to say
Ugh.
anything, but
He's famous on TikTok, dude. I'll tell you that. So, like,
Enough
Is that-
said.
that's the world we live in.
Yeah,
How old is,
That
how old
TikTok
is he?
money.
but that voice, like,
Old
how
enough.
Probably like almost
Old
60,
enough.
probably almost 60, I'd say, like 50
Yeah.
something.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna, as someone of a certain age, I'm gonna say he's got to be a little older than that. Just
Okay.
for my sake.
Yeah.
one of my best
He's
friends.
too old for an 18-year-old.
One of
Yeah,
my best
well,
friends
regardless,
I met
I'm-
on,
I'm 40
Craigslist.
and I'm too old for an 18-year-old. Like, way too old for an
Yeah,
18-year-old.
that's
So.
there's that.
No.
Yeah.
I met one of my best friends on Craigslist, and it
Did
was
you
like
really?
the middle. Yes, it was the middle of the night. And
Allegedly.
it was a man, and I promise you, nothing sexual. And I was like, hey, like, do you want to hang out or whatever? And he came. I was 18 years old. He came over to my house,
Shut up.
and we marathon watched To Catch a Predator. And then
oh
later,
my god.
listen, later on,
That-
I realized that's kind of weird. But
That-
listen,
Yes!
we're still
fucking-
besties. We're still
That's
besties to this day.
demented.
But listen, it ended up being a good story because we're still best
story.
friends. He's like
Oh
my
my
kid's
God.
godfather.
Ended in
It was
murder.
weird
He's the
originally.
godfather?
You're,
Yes, he's
You
my
signed
best
over
friend.
the Sweet Baby Angels?
He's my best friend. Yeah.
Oh my
Jesus
goodness.
Christ. That's how, like, murder stories go.
No.
Right?
In hindsight, absolutely. Because I
When
was
they
thinking
ask us
about
the
it one
questions
time.
later.
I was like, To Catch a Predator in the middle of the night. He knows all my family is gone.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, it was good times. Now we're
He knew all the answers to all the questions that Hanson was asking. Like,
No,
I was
no.
like, wow.
he's a cool guy. my kids are like, hey, where's Uncle this person?
We all want to vet him now. I think.
No, he's
Mm.
he's cool people, genuinely. I think it was just around the time where like people were using Craigslist as like
Yeah.
when they had the friend thing on there, because I had just
Mm.
moved back to California.
remember
I
it
didn't
being
have
like
any
that.
friends. Yeah,
Yeah.
but in hindsight, as an adult now, I'm like, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a friend in real life that I know from there, and like when I look back on it, I'm like, that was really like I don't even want to explain that story. Yeah.
It's embarrassing. My husband, I met him on I don't want to tell you guys.
Oh, now I need to know.
Yeah, I met him on the Black Planet.
Oh. Relatable.
What's that?
That's all I'm saying.
It was like a
It's
black
not for you, Joey,
MySpace.
unfortunately.
It was like a black MySpace
It's
back
not
in the
for you,
day.
Joe.
It's not for you.
And I had ignored him for so long. I was like, I don't date light skinned people. Ignore. And then finally I was like, hey, what's
Not
up?
my line.
Oh
And,
my
and we never
God.
stopped talking from that day. So yeah, like the internet is weird. I don't know.
Mm.
But we've been together now like 13 years, so
I guess you'll keep it.
yeah. But if my daughter today was like, I met this guy, I'd be like, no,
No.
they're a creep.
No. Does he have a
Let me talk
robot?
to him.
Does he bring dead girls home? Hell no. Is he smart? Like,
Have you
he
ever
better not
heard
be
him say
smart.
BB?
Yeah.
Right, he better have a paper route.
Yeah.
He
He
better
better
have
be
a
much
paper
more like Tom. Does he like milk with his pie after Thanksgiving?
Not milk with his pie.
Oh, and he drugs his mom's coffee, man.
Right.
Like,
It's killing
It
me.
was exact amounts.
And she's like,
Yeah.
I make good coffee.
dude, trust me, I know how to roofie my mom, alright?
Yeah.
That was so creepy.
There's so many
She's
red
like,
flags.
I do know how to make coffee.
So many
I
red
had to
flags.
rewind
It's
that
horrible.
part because I was like, did I miss the part where he was like, I'm gonna roofie my mom?
Yeah, hard. And when he kept pouring the powder in, was that just me or like?
And then
did he
trying to
pour a
stir it with his
massive amount?
finger?
Oh my god!
Doing?
So that was like a callback to The Last of Us, huh?
Yeah. Oof.
Maybe mom roofing in that show too.
No, what's his name? Frank? That's not his name. Bill? Ted?
Ralph.
He got one of them white boy names, that's for
Episode
sure.
3.
Episode 3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is that the one that pissed everybody off?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But I
Did it?
pissed some
Why?
people off.
Because
Some
people
people-
are homophobic.
Yeah.
Some people
Oh, yeah, people were mad about that episode.
Oh, yeah. If that's the one I'm
Episode.
thinking of, then yeah.
I
They
love
Where
didn't
do-
want to see Ron Swanson
Do I
literally
use
taking the meat.
Do I use the same fucking social media platforms as you guys do? Because
No,
I never
you-
see any of this shit.
You use twitter.ca.
I don't know anything about Chris Hansen or homophobia.
I don't see any of this shit.
Okay, so
like-
everybody
He said
supporting
BB
stuff.
isn't your guys' prime minister.
Yeah, what?
Like, I hear people say, like, oh, did you see on
I'd
Twitter?
vote
I'm
for
like,
BB.
no.
Look at him. I mean, he's got a trustworthy face.
Look, he does have a pregnancy nose. He might be black.
You never know.
No.
He
Oh,
might be-
What?
He has a real wide set nose. He might be black.
What do you call that?
On
A
Black
pregnancy
Planet.
nose when
A
your nose
pregnancy
spreads.
Pregnancy nose.
When your nose
Man.
It
spreads.
spreads. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the cells
When
in
you're
the middle of your
pregnant,
body
yeah, your
cleave.
nose spreads.
Okay.
Your whole
Okay.
middle of your body. It's not just your nose, but you can see it on the nose.
But they call it, pregnancy nose.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
a fun fact.
Huh.
I'm about dropped off the chair when I found out that was what it was about, to help your body cleave better, to let the baby out.
I wish I had gotten it
Smells
so
so
people
fun.
would know. Because with my youngest, I didn't tell anybody I was pregnant.
Oh,
And I thought it was a fun thing, right?
Fun
and
game.
so after I gave birth to him, I called everybody from the hospital on FaceTime. And I was like, hey guys, I'm here at the hospital, not feeling too good. And then I showed Damien's face. They were not happy. Leandra legitimately would not talk to me for
Are
like
you
a week.
serious?
She was so mad at me.
you
Because
didn't tell?
I didn't tell her. I didn't tell anybody.
The whole
'cause
time?
the whole
Oh
time.
my god! How did you do that?
What's wrong with you?
Because I live in
Who hurt you?
I don't know, because I live in Washington and none of my friends or family live up here. So I thought it would be.
Dateline guy.
I just
You
thought it would be
like
funny.
easier on them.
Yeah, I
I
just thought. No,
don't
I just
even-
thought it would be funny.
I don't even question it anymore. You're asking this to the girl that found someone on Craigslist,
Yeah.
brought him home, and watched
Good point.
To catch a
predatory.
Catch a
Like,
predator.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
to catch a predator. At least I knew if he was like, oh, that's a good idea. I would have been like, oh, red flag.
The-
But
Is
he
he in
didn't.
your area now, or was that
Yeah.
California?
No, he's in California. But he is still one of my really good friends. So
Okay. I'm just saying.
he is. He's a really good guy.
I'll be following up on this, y'all.
Mm.
yeah.
I can hook it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you
All
guys
right,
ever want a
so-
little Dateline action.
I guess it's a good time to wrap it up
Yeah.
before Elle starts digging a hole for herself. So
And another thing.
Starts
Oh, I got
accusing-
another story.
starts
Wait for
accusing
it.
more celebrities of murder. And
Look, Listen, you guys know he did it.
Allegedly.
Look, I know you guys saw that new comic book day post from Han, and you were like, "Who wrote this?" It was me. And please know that I knew what I was doing.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about.
I do.
Uh-huh.
I'll DM you, Joe.
I was like, this was Elle. I know
Anytime I get a chance.
it.
Well, I'll have to go look. That's on Instagram.
Allegedly.
Is it still there? Is it still there?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go try to find it then.
Innocent until proven guilty.
That was episode of Buzz Bites where we covered two 80s. I don't know if I'd call them classics, but
yeah,
the first one is definitely something. It has some
It's
classic.
something.
It sure is a movie.
It is a movie.
Iconic, baby.
I think the second one, The Cat's Eye, you could almost call that one a classic.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought it was still good. It held
Yeah.
up.
I will make my daughter watch both tomorrow.
You should.
Because I have 48 hours left of my rentals. I'm gonna get all the viewings out of them I can.
Mm-hmm.
Be queuing that up tomorrow too.
So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks to all of you for coming on. We always have a blast. It's always a good time, good laughs. Any closing comments before we sign off?
Oh no, not just to remind everybody that we got that extra show on Sunday if you guys
Yep.
are interested, where we're going to be talking about 2 books that have just recently come out that me and Joe are both really into, so that should be pretty fun. But aside from that, that's about it.
Yeah.
So until then, Elle, you got anything you need to announce for Han or anything?
Han was I'm back on the 26th. I'm
Okay.
off this weekend.
Don't call it a comeback.
Allegedly,
Bam.
For years.
I was put on hiatus forcibly. They told me
Allegedly.
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 Allegedly. I'll be back on the 26th after my probation is over.
Otherwise known as break.
And tea room, as far as tea room goes, actually Tara and I are doing like not a tea room thing, but a Shrek thing coming up soon, and we'll let you guys know the details
Oh my god.
once we work it out.
Yeah. I'll try to read that to get. I'll try to come on if I can read it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't. Hey, you can play a fun game called "Where's the Typo" too.
Oh, it's an Amazon book, so I'm pretty sure it's rife with them, man.
Oh,
Like,
man.
for
For
sure.
every typo, you gotta take a piece of clothing off.
You mean so I can't do my eyelid twitching like I have been so far?
You take off eyelash.
Yeah, I think that's what I've been doing.
Well,
All right then.
Mhm.
See you guys Sunday. Take it easy.